about UFOs? Well, it has people talking.
After those remarks, Newsmax went out to ask people what they think.
Do you think aliens are real?
I do.
No.
Possible. So many universes out there.
I think so.
I can't categorically deny their existence. I'm not sure.
They're definitely not green if they are real.
Yeah. Looking green and scary, so that's what I would think, but I don't know. I think they probably evolved.
Trump is expected to release some files on aliens. What do you think he's going to say? I don't think there's going to be any proof that they actually exist in those files.
I think they closely represent like humans. I don't think they're these crazy monster-looking things.
What kind of technology do you think they have? Do you think they're more advanced than us?
Yeah, everything. Let's go there. They got everything.
No cars, definitely spaceships, for sure.
Yeah, sure, we are aliens. Don't you see?
Okay, John, I know you have a lot to say about this. All I'm going to say is that the White House did register the domain name aliens.gov, so we'll have to see.
Folks, you heard it here first.
Okay.
UFOs, they don't exist. There's nothing higher than the Almighty God. And as long as you have faith in the Almighty God, you don't have to worry about anything that someone thought they saw in terms of lights moving around in the sky. We're the only ones on Earth, and there's nothing to be concerned about. Just focus on getting along with your neighbor. That's the most important thing.
I don't have much more to say beyond that, John. I would agree with that. I'm a little skeptical about UFOs. I think a lot of instances have occurred with drones. We saw that happen in New Jersey. People were confused maybe like 2 years ago. We had questions. Again, we will see what the White House provides with this aliens.gov website. They've registered it. They haven't made it live yet. They haven't uploaded anything. But if they do upload something, we'll bring it to you, despite our viewpoint that likely this is not what's happening. At least my viewpoint. I agree. I'm not a believer in aliens.
You're watching theDove TV, encouraging and informative for Southern Oregon and the Rogue Valley. Seen on KDOV 18, KDSO 24, and these Dove TV affiliates. Good morning. You're tuned to the Dove, encouraging and informative, helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you and happy Friday. Welcome to Mornings on the Dove. It took us all week to get here.
It did.
And good morning. Today is the first day of spring. And we have a flowery background. You found the place, because I thought you'd go to the old studio yesterday, but you found it this morning.
No, I found it. We made it. And
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, but we have a lot of flowers out there this morning. You can tell spring has sprung. Can you go to the white shot there, Scott? There it is.
Wow.
See all the flowers that popped up?
Yeah.
And anyway, and Mount Shasta, I guess, in the background.
It looks something like, we're discussing which mountain this might be. It does look a lot like Shasta.
It does, yeah.
Either way, it certainly is a Pacific Northwest volcano.
There it is.
That's for sure. And it is spring-like, and you know what? Or my brightest pink shirt to match and to celebrate spring. How about that?
All right, well, spring is sprung. Today's the official first day. Good morning to you. A lot in the news. There always is. It's Friday. We're happy about that.
Yeah.
Anything special?
Oh, yeah. It is National Proposal Day. This is observed 2 times a year, so guys or girls, whoever, the impetus on you is observed on both the vernal and autumnal equinox. It's the equinox today.
Oh.
As the sun passes over the equator, meaning we're right in the center, equal days. And so again, it's Proposal Day. If you have been saving up, if you have even if you don't have a ring. Did you, when you proposed to Peggy, did you go out in advance? Did you get the diamond, and you didn't even? Was she surprised? You picked it out, or did she help pick it out? What? Well, how did it work? Yeah. How did that work?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Well, obviously so. It stuck.
Yeah.
And was she surprised?
I think she was surprised how it was done. But
Okay,
I don't know if she was over. Well, yeah, I guess at the end of the day, we were young. We were 20.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we were really pushing everybody's envelope, including our own. And so, yeah.
Okay.
How about you?
All right. Well, no, we eloped and we didn't know we were getting married, even on the day we got married. Yeah, we called up people and then we listened to her mom cry afterwards.
Really?
And yell a little bit.
Yell a little bit.
Yeah, she did. It's like, what are you kidding me? You're marrying a ski instructor or a ski bum? What? So,
yeah.
Anyway, we came to terms later. Yeah. But anyway, it is National Proposal.
Well, there were 5 girls, and I always told my mother-in-law it was a tongue-in-cheek thing.
Okay.
Thanks for the pick of the litter.
How did her sisters react to that?
Well, I slowly worked my way through that.
Oh, yeah, good for you.
Yeah,
all right.
I was a pretty good guy until I moved Peggy to Oregon.
Oh.
And then it all fell apart.
Oh, you know what?
I don't think her mother ever really forgave me on that one.
You know what? I went through the same thing. I went further. We moved to New York.
Oh,
I
did
went
you?
3,000 miles away. There wasn't a trip home to visit that I wasn't like harangued.
Yeah,
it was. When are you coming back?
It was interesting, but after it all smoothed out. But
yeah, but I can appreciate that, especially now, as a parent with kids who got married, and then when you have grandkids.
Yeah.
And you don't want them somewhere else. You got to have them near. You got to be part of that life.
Well, you get
in those lives.
It's kind of like so many people get to the stage of life where they. The kids did move away.
Yeah.
And then you moved to them.
And they followed them. Yes. I know a number of people have done
Yeah.
exactly that. Yes. So, anyway, it's nice when your kids stick
So
around.
today's proposal day.
Yeah, have fun.
Okay.
Okay, it's also National, and this goes hand in hand with this too. It's National Future Generations Day.
Oh, well, there you go.
First you propose, then
Yeah.
you start a family.
And you get
future generations.
get another generation.
Serving as a powerful reminder of our collective responsibility to nurture the health and well-being of those yet to come, and especially we protect the rights of the unborn,
Yes.
those yet to come. All right. Also, only one thing to eat, but we're going to eat it big, and we're going to eat it all day. It's National Ravioli Day. Traditional Italian-filled pasta. Makers fill 2 layers of thin egg pasta dough with various ingredients, oftentimes served as a main course. It can also be a side dish or appetizer. Many popular recipes bake or deep fry the ravioli. The dish also becomes a dessert with chocolate added to the pasta or cream cheese stuffing and a caramel sauce. Isn't that nice? Ravioli can be homemade or purchased fresh or frozen in grocery stores in the United States. And we're watching homemade ravioli being made right there. And Chef Boyardee popularized canned ravioli. This ravioli is filled with beef or processed cheese and served in a tomato meat, or tomato cheese sauce. So there you go. And I think most of us have had the Chef Boyardee ravioli, and I think I'll take homemade.
Well, yeah, I like raviolis, and if you go to, I think it's Rosario's,
Oh, yeah.
you can get blue crab raviolis.
Oh, yeah. You see, you can fill it with anything. Seafood,
Yeah.
beef, cheese.
I've had lobster ravioli. It's just to die for. Okay. But cheese, yeah, you can have anything you want.
I'll take the lobster. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you like the red sauce or the white sauce?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you again.
Okay, I want to say to Diana, look at
Yes.
this. She, again, has overblessed us with these, what they're called quilling cards.
Yes.
This
They're
is
amazing.
absolutely amazing.
Yep, it really is.
And she's thinking of us for Easter, and she sent these ones that had has the cross on it.
Yeah.
With the purple down at the bottom. These are just absolutely elegant. And Diana, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what other to say than thank. I still have the one sitting on my desk with the sunflowers on
I
them.
have it too, and thank you for the encouragement to boot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, your little words in there. And
Yeah.
she asked me a question, and I'll get you the answer.
Okay.
But, gosh, this is just
Yeah.
elegant. All right. Well, here's a guy that's rolled like a ravioli.
A look at our Friday weather from Grange Co-op. In northern Oregon and southern Washington, cloudy with rain likely this afternoon and daytime highs in the low to mid-60s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville with lows tonight in the low 40s. Moving down the Willamette Valley with a chance of rain and daytime highs near 64 and lows in the low 40s for Salem, Albany, and Corvallis. Partly sunny and near 67 in Eugene with rain moving in tonight. A nice day across central Oregon with partly sunny skies around Prineville and a high near 79. Mostly sunny and low to mid-70s for Bend and Sun River. And mostly sunny in Boise, Idaho with a high in the low 80s. Along the coast, a chance of showers with highs in the low 60s for Coos Bay and Port Orford. Partly sunny with a slight chance of showers in low 60s in Brookings and patchy fog in Crescent City, then partly sunny and near 60. A warm spring day in southern Oregon with partly to mostly sunny skies for the Rogue Valley and Klamath Basin. Highs in the mid-upper 70s for Grants Pass, Medford, and Ashland, and near 77 in Klamath Falls. Getting hot as we move into Northern California. In Wairika, mostly sunny and low 80s. Sunny in Redding with a high near 94. Through Chico and Sacramento with daytime highs in the low 90s and a calm wind. In the Bay Area, the heat continues inland with sunny skies and highs near 90 for Santa Rosa and Napa. Sunny in San Francisco with a high in the mid-80s and a light west wind. And in San Jose, sunny and near 93. It's a snapshot of your Friday weather from Grange Co-op.
All right, beautiful shot this morning. Good morning to you. The first day of spring. There's a picture of our backyard, and I'm really surprised how more lights are growing out there.
It seems to be, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. All right, sunrise in a few minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful. Well, here's Dr. Anthony George. He examines what the Bible means when it says to have a renewed mind.
To say we need to have a daily renewal of the mind, but I thought I would take a few moments to paint the picture of what it looks like to have a renewed mind. And this is my favorite part of the sermon, really, to talk about. And not that I have, it's my favorite because I mastered any of this. It's because I love talking about it, because this is what I try so hard to do. A renewed mind is a mind that thinks biblically, not worldly or fleshly. The contrast that Paul is drawing here between saved and unsaved. The unsaved person walks with a darkened understanding, a mind that is unrenewed, but a believer who is following Jesus, the light is on inside the chamber of his or her mind. They have an illuminated understanding, a mind that is enlightened by the truth and by the guidance of the Holy Spirit, and a mind that is submitted every day to Jesus to be renewed. And so when we learn to think biblically, we will have a renewed mind instead of allowing the world or the flesh to shape the way that we think about our lives and about others and even about God. And when this is happening, let me tell you what you will begin to do. When you begin to think biblically, you will start to gauge your thoughts and gauge your opinions and gauge your values and the conclusions you draw about everything according to Scripture.
You know, he's absolutely right.
Yeah.
But you have to discipline yourself. You have to intentionally discipline yourself to think like that.
Yes.
So
yes, he says we have to learn to think biblically. Man, it is something that we're falling short of a lot in churches these days, aren't we?
Yeah, because we're inundated with news and headlines, and we immediately get pulled into that world of thinking.
Yeah.
But have you ever stopped to ask your question, in spite of, just if you can possibly do this, leave the personalities and the politics out of it for a moment, and ask yourself this question.
What?
Is God surprised by anything that's going on, or is he in control of everything that's going on?
That's a great question. Yeah, because we know he's in control.
That's biblical thinking. All right, good morning to you. Happy Friday. Let's take a look at some of the top stories. Some of these are pretty interesting. Yesterday, the Department of Justice has subpoenaed ex-FBI Director James Comey over the role of the 2017 Russia intel assessment. Now he's back in the hot seat again.
Yeah.
Now, he's been given some passes by judges, rogue liberal judges. But now he's being subpoenaed by the DOJ itself. So we'll see where this goes, and does this mean anything? I don't know if they're involved with statutes here or not, limitation.
Yeah, right.
But he and Brenner obviously were the guys obviously involved in this thing. Look, it's just my opinion based upon what I know, and it's very limited from stuff that we read. So I'm not saying I'm an expert on this, but he appears to be very corrupt.
Yeah, yeah.
And slimy as all get out. And the question is, will this subpoena reveal anything? And if it does, what can be brought from it?
Yeah.
Can he still be whatever?
Yeah, I don't know. Bring up statutes of limitations. I don't know how that applies. Yeah.
All right, over to the Middle East. Additional ships and Marines are being deployed. The U.S. military has accelerated deployment of thousands of Marines and sailors to help reinforce the troops fighting against Iran. They're calling it the Boxer Amphibious Ready Group, and the 11th Marine Expeditionary Unit are deploying ahead of the schedule of, that they were on standby for. Now they've been dispatched. Listen to this. The Boxer Amphibious Ready Group includes USS Boxer Amphibious Assault Ships, along with USS Portland and the USS Comstock. Amphibious transport dock ships. This is a big increase.
Big deal, yeah.
2,500 Marines, bringing a total of 4,000 total service members aboard these 3 amphibious aircraft, and they are equipped with F-35 fighter jets, missiles, and amphibious vehicles capable of launching from the ships to carry out land assaults. Now, the Marines and people that are on board these ships going over there have not put the boot on the ground there yet.
Right.
The question, will they? Or is this a ready thing?
Yeah.
But apparently these amphibious boats that are heading that way are very capable of taking out all the threat of the strait.
Okay, a lot unknown here, and including our allies, some NATO allies. It seems as though some of those who were reluctant to help us in the Strait of Hormuz are now kind of gathering a coalition and are now seeming to support our efforts to open the Strait of Hormuz, yet we haven't heard anything that they're going to do to actually help. It seems as though they're supporting, but now are they going to help or not? What is this loose coalition, and how will it affect?
Well, from what I saw, it's all words and no action.
Yeah, it seems to be, yes.
So they formed this little coalition. Yeah, we're here to help you.
Yes.
Under these conditions, that we don't get hurt, we really don't have to go.
We don't have to send anybody in.
And we don't have to send any of our equipment or people.
Right.
But we're here for you.
You guys do the work and give us cheaper oil. Yeah, we're in.
I mean,
yes.
So it doesn't seem to be serious, let me put it that way. So here's the big story.
Okay.
Cuba is within like hours of falling.
Oh, my goodness. Yes.
Nationwide blackouts left 10 million without power. Okay. Citizens now have attacked the buildings there. This island has experienced 67 years of a communist rule. And so in the last couple of weeks or so, protests attacked the Communist Party headquarters on the island overnight, ransacking the place, and I think they tried to set it on fire. They didn't get very far with that. They're saying that Cuba is literally within hours of falling. And the question is, to what?
Yeah. Yes.
Who does what here?
Well, that's always the question. Yeah. Well, who fills that void, that vacuum?
Well, again, this could be like Venezuela, maybe Iran, and now Cuba, where you set the country up for its citizens to take over.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have a leader out there that is kind of leading the charge. Or do we move in and we make it a territory like Puerto Rico?
Yep. Well, yeah, that's
it appears to me that could happen.
Okay.
You got to remember, years ago, in the 50s, this was the go-to destination resort.
And it could be again.
It could be again.
Absolutely.
So we'll see what happens. All right. Well, this is kind of interesting. Now, are you sitting down?
I am.
Are you ready?
I have to.
We have to have a little levity on Friday,
all right.
especially when it's the first day of spring.
Yeah.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, she is really being lambasted on media.
Good. Good.
Okay,
She should
so
be.
we're going to show you a clip of what she said in 2022.
Okay.
Followed by a clip that she said just a couple of days ago.
All right.
All right, look at this.
And we're here to say that the era of Trump and Zeldin and Molinaro, just jump on a bus and head down to Florida where you belong, okay? Get out of town. Get out of town. Because you don't represent our values. You are not New Yorkers.
But maybe the first step should be go down to Palm Beach and see who you can bring back home, because our tax base has been eroded. So I philosophically don't have a problem. It is like I have to look at the fact that we are in competition with other states who have less of a tax burden on their corporations and their individuals. And I would say remote work changed everything. There were people who could only work in an office in Manhattan or work in New York State, and they were captives to our state. They were going to stay. We saw that that's not the case. I mean, you know, Wall Street businesses looking at Texas, they're not going there because they have a nicer governor. I know that for sure. But they're going there because of the tax rate. We have to be smart about this.
Oh, my goodness.
Can you believe that?
Isn't that a political campaign ad made to order?
Oh, God.
Just run that in the next election cycle.
Well, that and then you have Mondani running people out of town. So she she says, get out of town.
Get out, yes.
And then she said, all of a sudden, our tax base is dropping down, and the cost of doing business here is too high, and everything that they campaign for and that they do and they govern with, they realize is wrong, and they want to get it back. It's all words.
Yeah, and you know what else she said?
You know what?
What?
Excuse me for interrupting.
That's all right. No, go ahead.
Every blue state needs to look at this seriously.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Even Oregon.
Right.
We can't. I don't know who's going to be the next. But if they go down the road they're on right now, it's just a matter of time. Some big corporations are going to say, had enough.
Yes. Well, she said it's remote work changed everything. No. Your governance changed everything.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, you did it. You were on the heels of, what's his name, who during COVID.
Oh, yeah. Cuomo.
Yes. You take Cuomo and Hochul, and you put those two together, it's a wonder that, you know, maybe you just cut off New York and let it just float out in the Atlantic and sink.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just really crazy. And then you bring Mondami in, excuse me.
Right. Yeah, Mondami, AOC, fill in the blank. That place is, I mean, it's kooky.
Well, it goes back to, you can get all up in arms there. To me, it's pretty simple. These are people that don't understand business. They don't understand regulations. They impose things on people that they themselves never have dealt with. They don't know what it is to make a payroll. They don't know what it is. I bet you if I threw a balance sheet in front of those people, they couldn't read it. Who's the piano player that's kind of a comedian that plays?
Oh, Victor Borge?
Okay.
Yeah. You're kidding me.
Okay. You ever see him? He's playing along, and all of a sudden he looks at the sheet of the music. And goes, He turns it upside down. He'll go like that.
Yes.
I think we could put a P&L sheet and a balance sheet in front of these people, and they would look at it for a while and turn it upside down and see if they could figure it out. That's how stupid they are. These people don't know what it is to be in business.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, that is hilarious. Oh, my gosh. Yes.
It's Friday. I'm on a roll.
Victor Borge on the first day of spring. And some out there are going, we know how old you are if you know who he is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Alice, get some Victor Borge.
Get some Victor Borge. And isn't it amazing? We're on the same page. I mean,
you and me?
Yeah, I mean, that's scary, man.
Well, he's quite the entertainer.
Yes, he was.
But some of the biggest laughs he ever got was when he was reading the sheet music, and then he turns it sideways and he's playing something else. He turns it upside down and he plays something else.
Yes.
That's what these people do in these blue-run states. They don't know what they don't know what a budget is.
Right.
They don't know where money comes from. I actually think they believe tomatoes come from Safeway.
Yeah.
That they're actually grown somewhere in the back room and brought out.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think part of the problem is those who govern us are sometimes separated from the realities of life. For example, we know that our government officials, they don't have to live on the same retirement plans. They don't have to deal with, Medicare and stuff like that. But did you also know that we're talking about government shutdown, partial government shutdown, TSA and all these vital services are being withheld. We got long lines. Did you know there's a proposal right now in Congress to make our congresspeople, our representatives, to go through the same TSA lines that we do? Because they're exempt right now. They don't have to. And they want to go home for 2 weeks for a spring vacation.
Yeah.
Make them stand in line.
I think they make them stand in line.
Yes.
Okay. I think they ought to go without pay.
Okay.
The moment the government shuts down any capacity, their paycheck should be stopped.
Yes. Yes.
But unfortunately, everything's been politicized to a point of anger.
Yeah.
And if you go down that road, you will lose.
Yeah.
It is frustrating, and you need to fight, but you need to keep your head on your shoulders, too.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, crazy is losing today, finally. Crazy is being exposed.
Yes.
And crazy is crazy.
Yeah, indeed.
So much for that. Speaking of which, we're going to go look for something. What is today?
Yeah, today we got
Ravioli.
ravioli. Yeah.
We'll be right back.
All right.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
You are invited to the 2026 Access Senior Fair, Tuesday, March 24th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Rogue X. Over 80 vendor booths offering helpful resources for seniors and their families. Try your luck at a round of bingo complete with prizes. All are welcome at the largest free and fun senior resource fair in Southern Oregon. We'll see you Tuesday, March 24th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Rogue X.
Black Flag Armory offers top brand affordable rifles, shotguns, handguns, and gear. We also offer an array of classes emphasizing safety, self-defense, and accuracy. We strive to provide the absolute best possible experience when buying a firearm. Family friendly for every skill level, Black Flag Armory in Midford and Grants Pass. Online at blackflagarms.com or 541-499-0779. 541-499-0779.
Once again, our very own Dove TV was recognized for excellence by the National Religious Broadcasters with the prestigious Station of the Year Award for 2026.
And this year's recipient of TV Station of the Year Award is Dove TV.
This makes 9 times the Dove has been honored by our peers with this celebrated national award. We're grateful, and another reason to stay encouraged and informed by watching and supporting the Dove TV.
Hey, how y'all doing out there? Happy Friday, 24 minutes past the hour. Well, that's just some backyard news. The Cesar Chavez story.
Oh, my goodness.
You've been following this a little bit?
Yes, I'm shocked at this.
Well, there's some things in the Portland area that are named after him and all this and that.
Okay.
Come to find out, he's not a good person,
Yeah.
and that he abused a lot of people, and it's coming to light. And are they going to take his name down from various places and his statue and all that stuff? And then Reina Lopez is the executive director of the Oregon's largest farm workers, is kind of taking a twist on this and taking a lead on gender justice as some means of sexual abuse justification.
What's that mean?
I don't know. This is about, I mean, you talk about over the rails.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm just bringing it to you that he's been exposed, and it looks like he's going to have all of his public whatever removed, and he should.
And it seems to be, and a number of public officials are kind of now stepping back and reassessing their support or their endorsements in the past.
Okay, so he led some of the largest farm issues in the country.
Yeah, he was organizing farm labor. Yeah,
farm labor and all that, and I get that. I totally do.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, he was not a good person.
Apparently not.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the meantime, you're going to love this.
What?
I don't know how. Okay, you went to see your mom in Visalia.
Yeah.
And you saw the Train to Nowhere.
I did. I saw it. It's an impressive structures.
What was it, a couple of $1 billion?
Something like that. And
literally, there's rails in the sky that aren't connected to anything.
Nothing, and no trains to go on them, and nowhere to go.
Well, that's just kind of interesting. Here's one for you.
What?
They discovered that a wildlife overpass in California remains unfinished and has gone far over the budget, according to the report. Down in Aurora Hills, excuse me, they have what they call the Wallace Annaberg Wildlife Crossing, which is located on US 101, okay? It was supposed to be built with state money of $54 million. So it gets out so far and they run out of money.
No way.
Okay, it's not even finished.
Oh, come on.
Okay, it's sitting in the air and the animals can't get to it. Okay? So then the unfinished bridge says, well, it's going to be maybe another 10 million. Okay, well, maybe a little bit more than that. And then some philanthropists get involved. The bottom line is, from a budget of $54 million, the budget now reaches $114 million, which was reportedly including $77 million in state funds. So the state funds went from 54 to 77 and private money, and they can't get this thing completed. And Governor Newsom was the guy that championed this whole thing. What do you do with this?
Hanging on his beak. How do you have aspirations to run for president of the United States when you have a record like this? And this is just one in many in that record that would just derail most people.
Now, I looked at this carefully yesterday, and it's easy to find things to criticize.
All right.
Why did they go over? Why didn't they go under?
I don't know these things. I'm not an environmental engineer. I don't know how
I remember
this works.
when I was flying for a company that built freeways.
Okay.
Peggy and I were first married, and I was her corporate pilot, and we were flying around. And we had a job down in Southern California, and the job got shut down because of turtle migration.
No way.
Yes.
Yeah.
No quitting.
Oh, man.
So they had to shut the job down and create a turtle passing underneath the freeway. So the turtles could go in, lay their eggs, and then go back out.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so it's a real deal. And we even talked about one up here on the Siskiyous.
Yeah, exactly right. Yes.
They're thinking about one up here on the Siskiyous.
Yep.
I get all this.
I do too.
But how do you go from 54 to 114? Who's pocketing the money? What's going on here?
Somebody should be looking at those books, don't you think?
I don't know. This is a good spot for, you know what?
What? What?
My little curious mind.
Okay, go.
I would do an animation spot of the animals coming up, talking animals that come up and say, Governor, you promised we could get to the other side. We can't get over there.
We can't even get on the crossway.
No, have a couple of deer talking, maybe some raccoons having a little conversation and crying because they can't get to the other side.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Okay, you guys can send me a commission check.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, a little bit, just a little backyard news. The Lower Table Rock Trail here in Southern Oregon. If you've never been to our valley, you have no idea what we're talking about. If you have, we have two mountains here called Table Rock. Oh, wait a minute, I got to the wrong one. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Where'd that story go?
All right. Oh, the bus service, yeah.
Where'd it go?
Uh-oh, did you lose it?
I didn't get it. Okay, well, let me just tell you. I thought I saw it here. Hold on, Scott. Anyway, the story is that we're having a bus service. It's going to go up I-5 and be able to take you from Medford all the way up to Eugene.
What?
And it's going to run every day.
Who's going to pay for it?
No, you buy it and get on it.
So it's a private. Oh, this is like. Well, what happened to Greyhound?
I haven't seen Greyhound in years. Have you?
I haven't noticed. No.
I don't know what I did with.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, didn't we already do that at one time? And.
Well, anyway, they're going to go on up, and
we'll find that.
First mistake I ever made in my life. Okay, well, I'll figure that out later.
All right.
And the last story is, in our backyard, the Lower Table Rock Trail will be closed for 3 weeks while BLM is up there completing some paving.
Paving?
The Upper Table Rock trailhead located 5 miles away from the lower Table Rock remains open.
Okay.
But the lower one, the path up there is going to get some maintenance and paving. I guess they paved some spots up there.
All right.
It's, you know.
Is there a landing strip on one of those things?
Yes, and well, there used to be.
Which one?
The lower one.
Lower. Okay.
And you can't. Is that the lower one? I gotta think about it when I fly in there, because on there is what they call a VOR.
What's that?
It's a aviation navigation system. It's been up there for years.
Oh.
It's got a little dome thing on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it helps you. If you're flying an airplane and you have a VOR and you're playing it'll direct you to there.
Okay.
But you can't land up there. Now, years ago when I first moved here, we did.
So you've landed there?
Yeah, you could, but you can't do it anymore.
Okay.
Okay, so what do?
Yeah.
You get clearance to do a flyby.
And then what?
Oh, gosh, it is a hoot.
Can you fly close?
Oh.
How do you get clearance?
Well, because it is the flight path into...
Yes, because we've all flown over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if there's no planes coming, you talk to the controller and say, I'm going to do a flyby by... Okay.
Okay.
So I'm in a Cub with a friend of mine.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm in the front, he's in the back. Okay, it's a little tandem thing. And a Cub, a Piper Super Cub, I think a Volkswagen could beat it. That's how slow it flies.
Okay, all right.
So we're coming down Table Rock, and I don't think I'm exaggerating that our wheels are touching the top of the grass. We didn't land. Okay. And when you get to the very end, he pushed the nose straight down to the river.
No way. Oh, my goodness.
It is a hoot.
Oh, it's a hoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last time I flew over there, I was flying a paraglider.
Oh.
A paraglider.
Yeah,
it's a three little tricycle thing with a fan on the back.
Fan on your back.
And then you have a parachute over the top.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
And I was flying around up there, but you can't land up there anymore.
Okay.
Anyway, for you hikers, the lower is going to be closed for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Gosh. What a crazy day. Let's take a look at the satellite image. We're way over past.
That's okay.
Looks nice.
Yeah, what do you got? I'm trying to find it. We're looking at, oh my goodness, mid-70s today, low 60s tomorrow, and then a little cooling trend through most of the week next week, but we're going to bump back into the 70s again, and there is a system way offshore out there, but you know what you can plan on? They'll probably miss us, as everyone has missed us. So
hey, I found it.
Okay. Oh, you did?
Pacific Crest Bus Lines.
All right.
Sent to launch a new intercity bus service connecting Eugene and Medford starting in April.
Okay.
Eugene, Cottage Grove, Sutherland, Roseburg, Grants Pass, and Medford.
Oh. Okay.
And the bus is going to run every day.
Okay, I'm going to research whatever happened to Greyhound. But now this is interesting. Talk about an awkward moment. The new Japanese prime minister is visiting Washington.
Yeah.
They're having a news conference, and the president makes a comment about Pearl Harbor when discussing the element of surprise in the Iran war. Check this out.
How about one more question for the prime minister? Let me pick a beautiful person from Japan. A question for the prime minister. Go ahead. Me? Yeah. Sure. Oh, he doesn't believe he's beautiful. Oh, okay. He sounded shy.
Go ahead, people, of course, know Japan and U.S. are very good friends. But one question: why didn't you tell U.S. allies in Europe and Asia, like Japan, about the war before attacking Iran? So we are very confused about Japanese citizens.
Well, one thing, you don't want to signal too much. You know, when we go in, we went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay? Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay? Right? You know, he's asking me. No, you believe in surprise, I think much more so than us. And we had to surprise him, and we did. And because of that surprise, we knocked out, the first 2 days, we probably knocked out 50% of what and much more than we anticipated doing. So if I go and tell everybody about it, there's no longer a surprise, right? Okay, one more for the prime minister.
Okay. Well, you know what? It was also said that she kind of got it. She knows enough English, and when her term Pearl Harbor, she kind of got it.
She got it. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, hey.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it is.
You guys should know about surprise, huh?
Yeah. You're pretty good at it.
Yes. Wow.
Okay, well, anyway, talking about surprise, we're going to go look for some raviolas. We'll be right back.
If you don't drive it, donate it. By supporting us, you'll get even more mileage out of it.
Thank you from the Dove TV.
Stewardship begins with the knowledge that nothing belongs to us, but everything belongs to the Lord. This helps us to run a business not in the fear of lack, but in the assurance of His care and provision. Such a perspective eliminates the drive to sell and replaces it with a heart that says serve. This begins with serving our clients and coworkers with integrity and genuine care. That's why McKelly's is automotive service with a heart for God and treating others as we ourselves would want to be treated. Our promise is to never sell our clients anything we don't believe they need. Another is to do all we can to meet other needs, such as shuttle service and loaner cars, or taking the time to really listen, even at times praying with our customers. Sometimes this means sacrifice, going above and beyond, but that's why I work for Kelly's Automotive Service, honoring God while serving people with honesty and integrity.
Thank you to our Dove partners for your faithful support. You make it possible for the gospel to be broadcast 24/7 on TV and radio, not only locally, but also around the world online at theDove.us. Thank you. Your faithful giving to the Dove is touching lives here and now, but more importantly, for eternity. Thank you for keeping the Dove encouraging and informative. We can't do it without you. More at theDove.us.
22 minutes before the hour on a beautiful Friday morning, the first day of spring, and a lot going on in the Middle East. So let's check in with CBN News and get caught up this morning.
Attacks against Israel continued Thursday as Hezbollah ramped up its missile and drone strikes. Iran also launched 5 missiles at Israel overnight, killing 1 person in the center of the country and hitting a Palestinian village near Hebron, killing at least 3 women in a beauty salon.
These cluster missiles are a war crime if this terrorist regime targets them at population centers.
Here we are in the bomb shelter again. This is an everyday reality for Israelis. In the northern part of the country last night, they had 6 alarms running to their shelters 6 times in the middle of the night. For the first time, Israel attacked Iran's natural gas infrastructure in the south. President Trump said the U.S. knew nothing about the attack on the South Pars gas field. Following the strike, Iran's president warned the situation could lead to consequences beyond control, the scope of which would engulf the entire world. Iran then attacked oil and natural gas facilities in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Qatar. The drone strike on Qatar's state-owned petroleum company causing extensive damage to the world's largest liquefied natural gas export facility. Qatar's foreign ministry posted that Iran's attacks are pushing the region toward the abyss and drawing in countries that are not parties to this crisis into the circle of the conflict. It also pledged to take whatever measures necessary to protect the nation and its people. The Wall Street Journal reports the United Arab Emirates and other Gulf nations now view Iran as an existential threat, and they are calling on the U.S. to permanently disable the Iranian regime before finishing the war. Saudi Prince Faisal bin Farhan condemned Iranian attacks against the kingdom and neighboring states that are not directly involved in the current conflict with Iran.
The targeting of Riyadh while a number of diplomats are meeting, I cannot see as coincidental. And I think that's the clearest signal of how Iran feels about diplomacy. It tries to pressure its neighbors. the kingdom is not going to succumb to pressure. On the contrary, this pressure will backfire.
In Washington, the Pentagon is requesting another $200 billion for the war. In an intelligence briefing to the Senate, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard said the Iranian regime appears to be intact but largely degraded. She also addressed the issue of Iran's nuclear threat to the U.S.
Was it the assessment of the intelligence community that there was an imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime?
The intelligence community assessed that Iran maintained the intention to rebuild and to continue to grow their nuclear enrichment capability.
When pressed on whether Iran's nuclear program posed an imminent threat, Gabbard said those decisions are left to the president. President Trump traveled to Dover Air Force Base in Delaware on Wednesday for the transfer of the bodies of 6 U.S. servicemen killed in a plane crash while supporting U.S. troops in the war against Iran. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
As a reminder to our viewers, we will be praying at the end of the show, so please pray along with us and even post those prayers below so we can read them and pray them on future episodes. Please like and share this episode, subscribe on YouTube so that the minute we go live, you get notified. Now for the latest news, and coming to us from downtown Jerusalem, at the famous Montefiore Windmill, Middle East correspondent Paul Petit. Paul, what's with a windmill right downtown Jerusalem?
Pretty amazing. Yeah, this is an iconic site. Let me pan over here on my camera. I'll give you a little idea of what it looks like, at least from where I am standing. You know, as you said, yeah, the Montefiore Windmill was built by Sir Moses Montefiore. That was back in 1857, basically to allow residents of this neighborhood here, which was actually the first neighborhood built outside the old city walls, to mill their own flour. You know, it never functioned properly, though, because it was relatively too low on the landscape, but the windmill just became, as we say, one of Jerusalem's most familiar landmarks. So if you've ever been here, then you've got to check it out right here, because then also, you know, over my shoulder right here, we're looking at David's tomb, Mount Zion. I mean, talk about iconic location. And they're pretty much all over here. And it's amazing just to be in the middle of this with everything going on right now. But I got to show you one other thing. I don't know if you can see, but this fella's taken down this sign that says, "Marry me." Somebody just proposed over there just minutes ago, which
make sure
sort of
Chuck
a testimony
has the Zoom link, and he's ready.
That life goes on here, Josh, regardless of what happens. Life continues here in Jerusalem with bombs coming in and missiles going off. And there's a party going on right over my shoulder with a groom. Life goes on, regardless of everything. Talk about resiliency. Now they're singing.
Only in Israel. Well, let's get to the latest news. Cluster bombs. They continue to be on everyone's mind for good reason. Why has Iran been using these munitions rather than ballistic missiles?
Yeah, great question. You know, they're designed to release dozens of small bomblets in midair, making them harder to intercept. That's the bottom line here, Josh. You know, these weapons can overwhelm Israel's war defense systems, and really they're designed to spread damage over a huge, wide area as opposed to just a ballistic missile, which is more concentrated, but of course, much more severe. Now, using cluster bombs increases basically the life of the risk to civilians, because they go all over with these pieces of shrapnel that tear into the body. Very indiscriminate, perfect for urban areas because there's a lot of people around and whatnot.
Okay, well, I can't even imagine living in Israel and trying to have a normal life.
And yeah, they point out that normal activities continue in the middle of this chaos.
Unbelievable.
It is.
All right, let's check out the weather on this first day of spring with Mr. Ravioli himself.
Okay.
A look at our Friday weather from Grange Co-op. In northern Oregon and southern Washington, cloudy with rain likely this afternoon and daytime highs in the low to mid-60s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville, with lows tonight in the low 40s. Moving down the Willamette Valley with a chance of rain and daytime highs near 64 and lows in the low 40s for Salem, Albany, and Corvallis. Partly sunny and near 67 in Eugene with rain moving in tonight. A nice day across central Oregon with partly sunny skies around Prineville and a high near 79. Mostly sunny and low to mid-70s for Bend and Sun River. And mostly sunny in Boise, Idaho with a high in the low 80s. Along the coast, a chance of showers with highs in the low 60s for Coos Bay and Port Orford. Partly sunny with a slight chance of showers in low 60s in Brookings and patchy fog in Crescent City, then partly sunny and near 60. A warm spring day in southern Oregon with partly to mostly sunny skies for the Rogue Valley and Klamath Basin. Highs in the mid-upper 70s for Grants Pass, Medford, and Ashland, and near 77 in Klamath Falls. Getting hot as we move into Northern California. In Wairika, mostly sunny and low 80s. Sunny in Redding with a high near 94. Through Chico and Sacramento with daytime highs in the low 90s and a calm wind. In the Bay Area, the heat continues inland with sunny skies and highs near 90 for Santa Rosa and Napa. Sunny in San Francisco with a high in the mid-80s and a light west wind. And in San Jose, sunny and near 93. It's a snapshot of your Friday weather from Grange Co-op.
I had a picture at the top of Mount Ashland this morning. A little patch of snow left, but the beautiful sunrise. Looking good.
Yeah, and it was on this day in 1930, a roadside stop in North Corbin, Kentucky, quietly laid the foundation for what would become a global icon, KFC.
Oh.
It all began with Colonel Harlan Sanders, who during the Great Depression started serving home-cooked meals out of a gas station along U.S. Route 25. But Sanders' story started long before that. Born in Indiana, he learned to cook as a child and dropped out of school as a 7th grader after his father passed away and he helped raise his siblings. Over the years, he worked a string of jobs from railroad worker to insurance salesman before finding his calling in the kitchen. By the late 1930s, his small cafe had grown into Sanders Court and Cafe, complete with a restaurant and motel. And in 1940, he perfected his famous blend of 11 herbs and spices, still one of the most closely guarded recipes in the world. By 1936, Sanders had been awarded the honorary title of Kentucky Colonel by Governor Ruby LaFoon, recognizing his culinary success. In 1950, he began dressing in his iconic white suit and black string tie, adopting the persona of Colonel Sanders, which became a key element of KFC's branding. From a roadside cafe to a worldwide brand, proof that it's never too late to find your recipe for success.
And his success didn't come early in his life. I mean, he was kind of up there in age when it really hit. They did say that when he finally sold to a conglomerate, you know, and he got a lot of money and he retained the spokesperson status. But he was disappointed with one of the changes that they made, the gravy. He said the gravy, he wanted his goal, and his original gravy, they said, was so good that you would want to eat the gravy. You could eat the gravy instead of the chicken.
Oh.
And they changed it because, you know why? Because it was too hard to make and it cost too much.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Original or crispy?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. We're going to go raviola and KFC hunting. We'll be right back.
I'm Susanna, and I contracted KA Designs to do custom cabinets throughout my house. We chose a really beautiful maple wood that really creates like a nice airy space. Everything was custom, and it was really cool because I got to literally see it come to life in person. We love to entertain, and we have a large family, so everything came together perfectly, exactly what I wanted. I highly suggest KA Designs if you're looking to design your dream house. Go check them out in their showroom. You will not be disappointed.
Panoramic Moto Tours was born really out of my passion just to ride Gray's back roads and the scenic highways in our beautiful Northwest. God put it on my heart to share the experiences and invite others. More than riding beautiful roads, it's the camaraderie and fellowship. It's hearing each other's stories. It's being mutually encouraged on our journeys of life.
Riders can book one of our ready-to-ride guided tours offering the best of Oregon or Northern California, or book a private custom tour tailored just for your group to destinations like Glacier or Yellowstone. For more information, go to
panoramicmototours.com or call me, Nick, at 541-622-3844. When you find something you love, you just want to share it.
panoramicmototours.com. Your next adventure starts here.
All right, welcome back. And of course, the war makes the cost of everything go up. I saw gas coming in this morning at $4.59. You know,
I paid $5.30
for diesel.
For diesel.
American dollars?
$5.30, and that's at the cheap place.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, what about farming? What about air travel? Illinois farmer Chris Gould was on Fox Business talking to Grady Trimble about business and tough, especially in the area of farming when it comes to fertilizer and diesel and everything else. They need to grow tomatoes that don't grow in Safeway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anyway, here's a little bit of their story.
Farmers here in Illinois and across the country are seeing the impacts of higher prices because of the conflict in Iran, because in addition to fuel, fertilizer, a large portion of the world's fertilizer, comes from the Middle East through the Strait of Hormuz. So while that's effectively closed, that is driving up prices. Chris Gould, third-generation farmer, knows it as well as anybody. We have a chart that shows how much fertilizer prices have increased since this conflict started. It's about 30%, and that's nitrogen-based fertilizer, which is what you use for your corn crop.
Yeah, it's a challenge. We were in kind of a thin margin position before this started, and with the increase in nitrogen especially, that has a serious impact on our bottom line.
And then you've got diesel prices surging up, I think, 35% and climbing above $5 a gallon for the national average right now. Your farm equipment runs on diesel. You also have a trucking operation where you haul your grain, and you're seeing those higher prices too.
Yeah, and that's important to us, but it's not just the actual use of diesel, but everything we buy. Many things that we purchase are all made with and transported with fuel, so that matters in almost every way.
Mm-hmm. I was governor one day in California.
Okay.
I would create a agricultural enterprise zone around all ag business. Because the people don't get it. They just don't get that they need water, they need fertilizer, they need diesel.
Yeah.
If you enjoy eating 3 meals a day and you think your farmer is some kind of your enemy, you are really missing it. And so I don't know. There's a lot of conflict out there, but boy, and the other thing I'd do, I'd kick every foreign landowner out of the state.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so now we know what you would do.
That's why I'll never be governor.
We know what you would do if you were governor of California. What would you say if you were a counselor to the governor of Oregon, and especially under the current conditions and her plans to increase our taxes on the very thing that we're talking about here, on our fuel consumption?
Well, look, the bottom line is I think she is now more vulnerable. We are now poised for a governor change of reality, kind of like California.
Yeah.
I think California is going to get a Republican governor.
Good.
We could get one here in Oregon, too.
Good. All right.
Yeah. I mean, look, they don't get it.
Nope.
It goes back to my little thing about the music. So we'll come back to that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we all know porch piracy is a big thing here.
Oh, yeah.
And what could have been a tense confrontation here turned out to be a moment of compassion.
You better than that. Get some help. You better than that. I love you. God loves you.
In Philadelphia, Bernadette Williams noticed someone trying to steal a package from her neighbor's porch. But instead of reacting with anger, she chose kindness. Doorbell camera video shows Williams calmly telling the woman, "Put that down." Then, surprisingly, she reaches into her pocket and offers her $7, all the cash she had. Williams says in that moment she didn't see a criminal, she saw someone in need. She encouraged the woman, saying, "You're better than that. I love you. God loves you." The woman, visibly moved, apologized and thanked her. Williams later said she could see genuine remorse, adding she hopes the woman turns things around. After decades in the neighborhood, she believes moments like this can make a difference. And now her message is simple. When you can, choose kindness.
Amen.
Don't put a bomb in the package. Okay.
Don't do that. All right, take with you Psalm 55, verse 22. Cast your burden on the Lord, and he will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be moved. So cast your burden upon him. Let him take care of it today. Do something good for somebody. It's the first day of spring. Go buy some flowers and plant them. We'll be right back.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary, sunlit interiors meet old-world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site, in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare, where your loved one can spend the day with us and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living. Your home.
Over time, every wall tells a story, but sometimes those stories need a fresh start. At Chris Silva Painting, we specialize in transforming indoor spaces, whether it's your family home or your business workspace. With premium paints, flexible scheduling, and expert attention to detail, we make the process simple and stress-free so you can focus on what matters most, living and working in a space you love. From bold new colors to subtle tones of sophistication, let Chris Silva Painting bring your vision to life, one wall at a time. Chris and his crew are courteous. They're efficient, organized, timely, and clean. Chris Silva Painting also offers military discounts. At Chris Silva Painting, our mission statement is to bring Christ's heart and principles to our customers and our job sites. We do that with honesty, integrity, and hard work. We don't cut corners, we paint them. CCB number 176097. Chris Silva Painting, 541-890-3960. 541-890-3960.
You're watching theDove TV, encouraging and informative for Monterey and the Central California coast. Seen on Channel 14 and these Dove TV affiliates. Good morning. You're tuned to theDove, encouraging and informative, helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Okay, well, good morning to you. Happy Friday. Took us all week to get here, and today is the first day of spring.
Absolutely. Yeah.
See all the flowers blooming out there?
It has sprung.
Nice to know that you made it to the other cabin.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What a view.
Yeah. Anyway, Mount Shasta out back there this morning, and so I don't think that snow's going to last long.
No. Yeah, more California ski resorts are closing every single day.
Yeah,
the season
somebody's
is
saying
winding
we're done.
down.
Yeah. All right, good morning to you. A lot of the news. We'll get to that a little bit later on. I just want to say at the top of the show again, thank you, Diana Wilson, She has blessed us again with one of these unbelievable quilling cards. This one is for Easter. Thank you for your lovely note. There's a question in there. I'll get the answer to you. These are absolutely staggering. I have the other one sitting on my desk that had the sunflowers on them. This is for Easter, and the quilling of the cross, and then the purple for royalty down at the bottom and all that. Just beautiful.
Wonderful.
So thank you, Diana, for thinking of us. You are terrific. That is just absolutely beautiful. Anyway, a lot in the news. We'll get to that. The weather is beautiful. Will change a little bit according to a guy that kind of understands what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, well, a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
What's up? What do you got?
Well, you know what a difference a year makes. It's first day of spring, but I don't know if you recall, on this time last year, tomorrow, 1 year ago tomorrow, we had a snowstorm, fog, wind, the whole thing. It was all on us tomorrow. But look at the difference that we have today. It's amazing. Yeah. Anyway, today is National Proposal Day. It is observed 2 times a year on the vernal and the autumnal equinox. And of course, the equinox is when the sun is passing over the equator, and on the vernal equinox, it's coming north. It's entering up into our hemisphere, but today it is crossing the equator right in the middle, so you have an equal opportunity today and in the fall to surprise your loved one with a proposal. Get down on your knee, whip out that expensive ring, and hope for the best. Pray first.
So you didn't have a ring, you didn't have nothing.
I didn't even have an inclination. Wow. Oh, I know, it's a long story. I'm going to write a book on it someday. And but anyway, thank goodness. You know, I always talk about how God's involved in our lives sometimes when we don't even realize it.
Yeah.
And you can look back in 20/20 hindsight and see it, and this was one of those times. And so if you are inclined to propose,
it's amazing how you can spin it these years later.
Is he in control or not? Yes, he is, and boy, did we see it. So also, it is, especially on the heels of National Proposal Day, it's National Future Generations Day.
Well, of
because
course.
you get proposed first and you have babies.
Yeah.
And it serves as a powerful reminder of our collective responsibility to nurture the health and well-being of those yet to come, and we firmly defend their right to exist because we stand for the rights of the unborn.
Yes.
Those yet to come. Also, only one thing to eat, but we have plenty of options when it comes to this because it is National Ravioli Day. Traditional Italian filled pasta. Makers fill 2 layers of thin egg pasta dough with various ingredients. It can be a main course. It can also be a side dish or an appetizer. And many popular recipes bake or deep fry the ravioli. The dish also quickly becomes a dessert with chocolate added to the pasta or cream cheese stuffing and a caramel sauce. And ravioli can be homemade or purchased fresh or frozen in grocery stores. Of course, Chef Boyardee comes to mind. He popularized canned ravioli. And this ravioli is filled either with beef or processed cheese and served in a tomato meat, or tomato cheese sauce. So there you go. It is Ravioli Day, and we're watching homemade raviolis there. I don't know. We never make ravioli. Does Peggy make raviolis?
I think she has in the past. You know,
Okay.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like it here. And you know
I
that
love watching cooking shows when they do it. You know?
I do too. And you know, but it's not the Italians. They're not the only ones that made ravioli. There are global influences. Similar dishes exist worldwide, such as the Chinese dumpling or jiaozi, and the Italian I can't say it. It's a sweet version of ravioli filled with dried fruits and spices. So there are different variations out there. Whichever one you prefer, enjoy, because today is National Ravioli Day.
Rosario's, one of the Italian restaurants here in town, has a blue crab ravioli.
I'll take it.
If you don't like seafood, you wouldn't like that, but it's really tasty. Okay. Now, I prefer the white sauce over the red.
Okay.
But then I've had lobster ravioli, which is good.
Oh,
you know?
yes. Okay.
I mean, I don't live on that, but boy, oh boy, it's just wonderful. You know, so, but yeah, I like them, you know, and they're a lot of work. You know, but I just enjoy watching cooking shows, and I don't know what it is that I like about it, but I can sit there and watch cooking shows all day long.
Yeah, it is satisfying. Makes me hungry, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's a guy that's been rolled up like a raviola.
A look at our Friday weather from Grange Co-op. In northern Oregon and southern Washington, cloudy with rain likely this afternoon and daytime highs in the low to mid 60s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville, with lows tonight in the low 40s. Moving down the Willamette Valley with a chance of rain and daytime highs near 64 and lows in the low 40s for Salem, Albany, and Corvallis. Partly sunny and near 67 in Eugene with rain moving in tonight. A nice day across central Oregon with partly sunny skies around Prineville and a high near 79. Mostly sunny and low to mid 70s for Bend and Sun River, and mostly sunny in Boise, Idaho with a high in the low 80s. Along the coast, a chance of showers with highs in the low 60s for Coos Bay and Port Orford. Partly sunny with a slight chance of showers in low 60s in Brookings and patchy fog in Crescent City, then partly sunny and near 60. A warm spring day in southern Oregon with partly to mostly sunny skies for the Rogue Valley and Klamath Basin. Highs in the mid-upper 70s for Grants Pass, Medford, and Ashland, and near 77 in Klamath Falls. Getting hot as we move into Northern California. In Wairika, mostly sunny and low 80s. Sunny in Redding with a high near 94. Through Chico and Sacramento with daytime highs in the low 90s and a calm wind. In the Bay Area, the heat continues inland with sunny skies and highs near 90 for Santa Rosa and Napa. Sunny in San Francisco with a high in the mid-80s and a light west wind. And in San Jose, sunny and near 93. It's a snapshot of your Friday weather from Grange Co-op.
Beautiful shot of Mount Ashland this morning as the sun is coming up. A lot of color there. A little bit of a patch of snow left. And, you know, with kind of a not so snowy season, maybe they get to work on those new lifts a little earlier.
I think maybe they could and perhaps should. Because you know what I'm predicting for next year?
More snow.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, it's coming. All right.
You got a problem.
Yeah. Well, you know, when we bring up the topic of salvation, it can spur some interesting conversations and some ideas. And with a look at whose idea it really is, here is some encouragement with Dr. Anthony George.
To say we need to have a daily renewal of the mind, but I thought I would take a few moments to paint the picture of what it looks like to have a renewed mind. And this is my favorite part of the sermon, really, to talk about. And not that I have, it's my favorite because I mastered any of this. It's because I love talking about it, because this is what I try so hard to do. A renewed mind is a mind that thinks biblically, not worldly or fleshly. The contrast that Paul is drawing here between saved and unsaved. The unsaved person walks with a darkened understanding, a mind that is unrenewed, but a believer who is following Jesus, the light is on inside the chamber of his or her mind. They have an illuminated understanding, a mind that is enlightened by the truth and by the guidance of the Holy Spirit, and a mind that is submitted every day to Jesus to be renewed. And so when we learn to think biblically, we will have a renewed mind instead of allowing the world or the flesh to shape the way that we think about our lives and about others and even about God. And when this is happening, let me tell you what you will begin to do. When you begin to think biblically, you will start to gauge your thoughts and gauge your opinions and gauge your values and the conclusions you draw about everything according to Scripture.
Yeah. Let this mind be in you, which is also in Christ Jesus. So do you have the mind of Christ about everything? There it is. All right, good morning. 10 minutes past the hour. Let's take a look at some of the top stories this morning. Interesting things. Every day is a new twist of something, but here's one. The Department of Justice is now going to subpoena ex-FBI Director James Comey. So he's back in the hot seat. He thought he kind of slipped away. But anyway, they're going to interview him about his involvement in the 2017 Russia intel assessment. And the Justice Department said they're going to subpoena the former director. and the assessment not only with the intelligence community on the Russia election interference. So apparently he knows something. Now, what's so interesting about James Comey and Brennan and these guys that got away with all this stuff, everything points towards corruption, but nothing has stuck.
Yeah, not a thing.
And then you have rogue federal judges, district judges, that did some work and gave them a pass. The fact that those judges gave them a pass leaves it very suspicious. But anyway, I don't know what this means. I need John Connor to kind of interpret this for us, if it means anything other than maybe further damaging his reputation. I don't know if anything will come of it. Back to the war, this is a big increase. The United States has accelerated deployment of thousands of Marines and sailors to help the reinforce the troops there in Iran. They're calling for the Boxer Amphibious Ready Group and the 11th Marine Expeditionary Unit. They're being deployed ahead of schedule from the West Coast. They're on their way now. The Boxer Amphibious Ready Group includes USS Boxer Amphibious Assault Ships, along with USS Portland and the USS Comstock Amphibious Transport Dock Ships. There are 2,500 Marines, bringing the total now to 4,000. They're going to be there aboard these amphibious craft, and are equipped with F-35 fighter jets, missiles, amphibious vehicles capable of launching from the ships themselves. So this is a big increase, and I think most of this is going to be concentrated around the Strait of Hormuz. And so, but of the 4,000 troops, none are on the ground yet.
All right.
We'll see.
And we hear that there is a loose coalition being formed of some of our allies, folks who really rely on the oil coming through the Strait of Hormuz more than we do. They've been reluctant, obviously, to gather into a coalition, and so it looks like it is happening now. But what's not clear is if they are ever going to be willing to do anything as a coalition.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. They actually had a graph where they put up all their flags. I think there were 6 of them, maybe 8 of them.
Yeah.
And basically, it's all words and no actions. Oh, we're with you, man. As soon as you change the rules, we're ready to help, but we're not sending anything or anybody.
Right.
It's really disappointing in the fact that you had the story yesterday where all of our allies think they really don't need them to get involved, that America's big enough to take care of everything, including them when they get into trouble.
Yeah, we're willing to do the dirty work and have been for quite some time now.
Yeah.
And including in the Straits of Hormuz, I heard some of the operations that are going to take place now to try and open it up, on our part anyway, is going to be jets will be flying. In fact, they're probably doing it right now, flying through the Straits, looking for the mine planters, you know, those boats. So they're patrolling, and then we're also sending Black Hawk helicopters through the Straits, and they're the ones that are doing battle with the drones.
Yeah.
And I guess it's the drone activity that's the big threat there, because effectively the Strait of Hormuz is closed.
Well, I don't know if these ship owners want to risk it.
Yeah.
I think they've been told by the Lords of London that, hey, we're not going to cover you.
So if you're given the go-ahead and they say, okay, well, the Straits is safe, let's go through, how would you like to be the first captain to pilot through there?
I don't know. I mean, would you have to self-insure for that?
Yeah.
And then when you get on the other side, your insurance kicks back in? I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
The other problem is, it looks like Cuba is literally within hours of completely falling. The nationwide yesterday had left 10 million people without power. There's growing unrest in Cuba, and the communist government struggles to deal with anything concerning the widespread blackouts and the collapsing economy. The island has, experienced 67 years of communistic rule, and it's left the party in shambles. And last week, attacked the Communist Party headquarters on the island overnight, ransacking the building, attempting to set it on fire and create some problems there. So they're saying that Cuba is within hours of collapsing. Now, the Cubans in Florida are watching this very carefully because they have a lot of relatives there, obviously. So here's the deal. Does Cuba become a territory of the United States, kind of like Puerto Rico?
Oh, I wonder. It's interesting because we look at Cuba's history, and we've been closely aligned with them through the years. And you brought up before, at one point, it was kind of like the vacation go-to place. Only 90 miles off the coast of Florida. And so, yeah, big changes are about to happen. It is very unusual. We have watched this communist regime basically almost our entire lives. Yeah. And things changing quite dramatically right now. I don't know, a territory, a state, or just an ally. I don't know which way we'll go.
They don't seem to have the citizen organization like in Iran. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So it would appear to me this would be a perfect opportunity for America to make it a territory like Puerto Rico, which fulfills the Monroe Doctrine of the Northern Hemisphere, that we would protect ourselves in the Northern Hemisphere, and completely eliminate that island from going anything crazy again.
Okay.
And if America was to make it a territory, hey, I could be crazy saying all this, I don't know, but it seems like to me that if America made it a territory again and opened it up, vacation-wise, is it?
Oh, the place would boom.
Oh,
yeah,
gosh,
it would boom. Can you imagine
all those 57 Chevys would be worth something?
Absolutely. And can you imagine the Trump hotels along the coastline?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
All right, this next story is really kind of crazy. New York Governor Kathy Hochul, she really is getting a lot of pushback around the country. Her social media and across social media yesterday exploded with this. She's the governor of New York. And as you know, we have Mondani, who is the mayor of New York. So I'm going to show you a video clip of Governor Hochul in 2022 saying something about Republicans, and in particular Trump and Republicans, where they ought to go. And then she counters that with something that she said just 2 days ago. Look at this little clip.
And we're here to say that the era of Trump and Zeldin and Molinaro, just jump on a bus and head down to Florida where you belong, okay? Get out of town. Get out of town. Because you don't represent our values. You are not New Yorkers.
But maybe the first step should be go down to Palm Beach and see who you can bring back home, because our tax base has been eroded. So I philosophically don't have a problem. It is like I have to look at the fact that we are in competition with other states who have less of a tax burden on their corporations and their individuals. And I would say remote work changed everything. There were people who could only work in an office in Manhattan or work in New York State, and they were captives to our state. They were going to stay. We saw that that's not the case. I mean, you know, Wall Street businesses looking at Texas, they're not going there because they have a nicer governor. I know that for sure. But they're going there because of the tax rate. We have to be smart about this.
Well, you've been stupid about it.
Exactly.
And so, and they left because of your policies, and you told them to get out of town, and a lot of them did, and they still can't afford to come back. You cannot change the mess in New York fast enough to fix it.
That's a made-to-order political ad right there.
Well, the other thing is, I think to me, this shows the problem of blue-run states. They don't know what it is to run a business. They don't know what it is to make a payroll. They don't know what it is to deal with the regulations they impose on people and try to keep a business alive and employ people.
Yeah.
I say this respectfully, but these people have never read a balance sheet. They don't know what it is to run a P&L. They've never taken out insurance to cover all this stuff.
Yes.
They just sit in their little towers and give out things.
Exactly, and then they're infected with Trump derangement syndrome. So even if good policy is proposed, if the president's for it, they resist it, even if it's good for their state and their people.
Well, I often thought if they ever gave them a balance sheet, to look at, would they know what it was?
Wait, turn it around.
Oh, sorry. You turn it like this. Would they read it like that? It kind of reminds me of this. Watch this.
After turning the music over.
They wouldn't know how to read it.
We just saw a classic clip of Victor Borga.
Okay?
That was great.
So I think that these people running these blue states, they just don't get it.
Right.
They don't understand it. And yet their form of business and equal rights and equality and fairness and all the other words they throw at us is just ludicrous.
Right.
And she turns around and kicks them out of the states, and now she's recognizing the reason they're going to Texas because it's easier to do business.
Yeah, yeah.
And you think your words are going to bring them back? Good luck. Yeah, so much for all that. Let's
Yeah.
go have some raviolis.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases, but you also become part of something bigger, a cooperative that you own and help shape. Join Grange Rewards today.
Thank you to our Dove partners for your faithful support. You make it possible for the gospel to be broadcast 24/7 on TV and radio, not only locally, but also around the world online at theDove.us. Thank you. Your faithful giving to the Dove is touching lives here and now, but more importantly, for eternity. Thank you for keeping the Dove encouraging and informative. We can't do it without you. More at theDove.us. The 71.5 Golf Challenge arrives Saturday, May 16th with a 4-person scramble, morning and afternoon shotguns, and a 6:30 award social. Register your team by April 1st for an early bird special. Score the team player pack for just $20 instead of $100 with the code EARLYBIRDIE. Become a sponsor and help kids across Southern Oregon. Visit 715.org or call 541-779-3275. At the 71.5 Golf Challenge, your drive saves lives. Once again, our very own Dove TV was recognized for excellence by the National Religious Broadcasters with the prestigious Station of the Year Award for 2026.
And this year's recipient of TV Station of the Year Award is Dove TV.
This makes 9 times the Dove has been honored by our peers with this celebrated national award. We're grateful, and another reason to stay encouraged and informed by watching and supporting the Dove TV.
Welcome back. 23 minutes past the hour. Some Oregon news, I guess we could say, for the most part. Cesar Chavez, who was, the big farm
labor organizer,
who was, really given amazing accolades across the country.
Oh,
in Oregon, there's streets named after him.
Oh, yeah, California too, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, come to find out, he was not a good person. He has a lot of background of abuse with young women and even his assistant and things like that. It all came to light.
Yeah.
And he is being pulled from everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're going to do with his statues and his names and all of these icons of him all over the place. But apparently behind the scenes, he was one bad guy.
Apparently so. And this also, is kind of a source of embarrassment for certain public officials who have really lionized and backed him and the movement. Obviously, it's kind of a Me Too thing, isn't it? People are speaking up, and it's finally coming out. And apparently, some insiders in the organization held on to this information for, in this case, I'm reading 60 years to protect the movement.
Yeah, I think there's a lesson here. You don't break God's laws. God's laws break you. And it's just a matter of time. I don't care what's done in the dark. It will be brought to the light.
Yeah.
All right. The other story, which is kind of interesting, is, now you actually witnessed this in going down and visiting your mom.
Oh, gosh.
That you drove past the train to nowhere.
Yes.
The high-speed rail that never did anything.
Structures like you can't believe it. Looks like Roman aqueducts that they built out there, and they're just standing there, motionless. Nothing going across the top. In fact, I don't even think they've laid any rails on them yet, or are going to.
Well, we got another Another, little example of this stuff. And I don't know how Governor Newsom spends all that. So let me ask you a quick question. What do they do with this? Do they take it down?
I think they plan on finishing it.
Do you plant trees on it?
Right, yeah. Do you put more money into it?
Gosh, I don't know what you do. Anyway, well, in the meantime, another one shows up. It's called the Wildlife Overpass that was scheduled to be on US 101 at Agora Hills in California. It's called the Wallace-Annenberg Wildlife Crossing. And apparently this was supposed to be a $54 million project. It's now gone millions of dollars over. It's not completed. Wow. So they got this patch of dirt over this freeway that nobody can get to, and the animals can't get on or get off. It was scheduled to go $10 million over, and then all of a sudden it was $21 million over. Wow. And in the meantime, here's the final. It'll be a $114 million project. $77 million of it will be from state funds, which the governor said he was all for the 54. Now he's got to cough up, another 20 million or 21 million, including private money, and there it sits. Now, what's interesting about this, I think this makes a great opportunity for AI to make a political commercial.
Okay. Okay.
Have the animals talking about, we were promised this but never got it. Has some raccoons and
Governor Newsom,
yeah.
Are you good on your promises?
Yeah.
Oh.
So if I were running a political ad for against him,
yes,
I would do, and
that's good. Yeah.
I'd have a bunch of people sitting on a rail car with. Sitting up on a rail car with nothing going anywhere.
Hey, where are we going to cross? Well, wasn't there a new crossing over there? Wait a minute. Well, how do I get across the freeway?
Raccoons talking to one another?
Goodness.
Gosh, I can't get over to see Aunt Sally.
Going across the freeway, dodging the cars, and oh man.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Another story is, hey, for us up and down the I-5 corridor, Oregon's Pacific Crest Bus Lines is set to launch a new intercity bus service connecting Eugene and Medford starting next month.
Okay.
The Pacific Crest Bus Lines is run 7 days a week, offering reliable and affordable travel options along the I-5 corridor. Maybe the old bus thing is coming back. The route includes Eugene, Cottage Grove, Sutherland, Roseburg, Grants Pass, and Medford. Hop on the bus, enjoy a beautiful ride, and maybe do it for a whole lot less than driving your own car.
How about that?
Yeah, not bad, huh?
I don't know.
And a little other story in our own backyard. Everybody knows about the Table Rocks. They are iconic for Southern Oregon. Well, the Lower Table Rock Trail will be closed for 3 weeks to complete some paving up there or to the trail. However, the Upper Table Rock Trailhead, which is located about 5 miles away, will remain open. So if you were a Lower Table Rock hiker, you won't be able to go up for a couple of weeks, but you can go hike the upper one. So anyway, great stuff.
Yeah, they're part of the iconic images of the Rogue Valley.
They are.
Mount McLaughlin, the Rogue River, and the Table Rocks.
And Table Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. And then you used to be able to land up there. You can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I think that would be fabulous. When did they stop that?
I don't know. I need to look that up. When I first came here in the 80s, was able to touch and go up there. You can't do it anymore.
Wow.
They have what they call a VOR up there, which is a aviation navigation piece of equipment. But you can't land up there anymore, but you can buzz it.
Okay, yeah. And, we've all flown over it. You come into, our airport here, and most of the commercial traffic goes near or over it. And I've looked down. I've tried to find that little runway up there.
Yeah, well, you can see, if you know what you're looking for, a little bit there. But if you're coming over, the one that you come over is where the VOR is, and that is puts out a electronic navigation system. The airplanes pick it up.
Yeah.
They fly to that, and then they get switched over to what they call the ILS, and then they come in and land.
I'm always intrigued with the firsts, the people who first decide, let's try this. I would like to see the first guy who said, hey, you know what, let's land on one of these Table Rocks here. You think we can do it? Oh, yeah, let's try it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's land on it. Was that thing about old, bold, and all that stuff?
Yeah. There's old pilots, bold pilots, no old, bold pilots, and then there's stupid pilots. Yeah. And I kind of in that category because I had done some stupid things.
No, but you're still here. No.
I'll look back on it now.
Okay.
All right, let's take a look at Wall Street this morning. Good morning. Thank you, Preston. He's with Smart Lawn. And I'm sorry about that cough. Anyways, call him. You don't have to mow your lawn anymore. The Dow's off 130. The Nasdaq is down almost 270 points, and the S&P off 48 1/3. So still continued red ink. And let's see here. Gold back up to 46. Silver is down to 70. And look at crude oil. Pretty much where it was yesterday, 105.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. That's the problem.
I refuse to say I paid $529.99 yesterday. I paid $5.30. $5.30 a gallon.
You get 2 gallons?
For diesel.
About 2 gallons?
I put on as much as I had. Well, anyway, we won't talk about that, but I filled up. But, okay, with that in mind, we're looking at the oil prices, and we're looking at the issues in the Middle East, and, the president's position on these things and our allies and such. Does anybody tell this president what to do? Well, with that in mind, in an update on the Iran war, Prime Minister Benjamin...
people I deal with in business. Go talk to a fence post.
Well, Netanyahu addressed some of the fake news that Israel dragged the U.S. into the war, and Bibi says no one tells President Trump what to do.
And I want to close these opening remarks with one other fake news. And that is that Israel somehow dragged the U.S. into a conflict with Iran. Does anyone really think that someone can tell President Trump what to do? Come on. President Trump always makes his decisions on what he thinks is good for America, and may I add, I think what is also good for future generations. In this case, those interests are absolutely clear, and so is the clarity of our achievements. Together in close coordination with President Trump, the close coordination between America and Israel, our militaries, our intelligence services, we're achieving goals in lightning speed. But I want to say another word. It's been said that for 40 years, I've been saying that Iran is a danger to Israel and a danger to the world. That is true. You know who else said that? President Trump. 47 years ago, when the Iranian thugs took over the American embassy, he said how dangerous this regime is. In his first term in office, he didn't need any convincing. He said the Iranian nuclear deal was the worst deal that he'd ever seen, and he walked out of it. Right before his second term, before he was reelected, I went to see him in Mar-a-Lago. The first thing he said to me was, "Bibi, we've got to make sure that Iran doesn't have nuclear weapons." He said that to me. I didn't say it to him. He didn't need any convincing there either. Now, why did he say that? Because for more than 4 decades, this regime, as I said in the beginning of my remarks, is chanting death to Israel, death to America. But they say Israel is only the small Satan standing in their way. The great Satan is the United States of America. And these ideological fanatics, these lunatics, define their raison d'etre, their reason for being, is wiping out Western civilization and America that leads it.
Yeah, and what happens, we got these Democrats on these committees in Congress pressing people, were they really a threat?
Yeah, right. What does imminent mean? Yeah,
I don't know.
Right.
But by the way, there was somebody else that came out in favor of the president and his view on taking out Iran.
Who?
Former Vice President Mike Pence.
Oh, I did see that.
And I thought, boy, that is a big turnaround for, because they had a falling out and it wasn't pretty.
Right, right.
And but he said, look, the president's spot on in doing this.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
I don't know if he's positioning he's going to run, or maybe just kind of clean up some messes.
Well, let me ask you, you mentioned that, what are his chances if he decides to run?
0 to none.
All right. All right.
I don't mean that personally against him.
Okay.
Just look at the field out there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So much for that. We'll take a quick raviola break with white sauce.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
And they'll see his light burning in your heart. And if the road gets rough, just keep your head up. Let the world see what you made of.
You feel most alive where you feel most at home. And this is living. Bobcat, the company that changed the way the world works, is coming home with a quality compact tractor built to match your quality of life. This isn't work you have to do. It's work you get to do. So get it done in a tractor that's all you. See your dealer or visit bobcat.com.
Panoramic Moto Tours was born really out of my passion just to ride Grace back roads and the scenic highways in our beautiful Northwest. God put it on my heart to share the experiences and invite others. More than riding beautiful roads, it's the camaraderie and fellowship. It's hearing each other's stories. It's being mutually encouraged on our journeys of life.
Riders can book one of our ready-to-ride guided tours offering the best of Oregon or Northern California, or book a private custom tour tailored just for your group to destinations like Glacier or Yellowstone. For more information, go to
panoramicmototours.com or call me, Nick, at 541-622-3844. When you find something you love, you just want to share it.
panoramicmototours.com. Your next adventure starts here.
Welcome back.
Gosh. Oh.
Happy first day of spring.
Yeah.
Boing. Look at all these flowers.
Dog, yeah.
Isn't that pretty? Mount Shasta.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you're driving up I-5, you can see Mount Shasta if you're coming up from the south, you know.
Stunning.
It's stunning, especially when you get in the canyon around Dunsmuir and you come around the corner and all of a sudden
Yeah, and boom, there it is. Yep.
But flying up,
Oh.
you see Mount Lassen, then you see Mount Shasta. Then the little one in front of it, Black Butte, then Mount Shasta.
Yeah.
And then behind that, you see Pilot Rock, and you aim for Pilot Rock.
Yeah.
Come over Pilot Rock, and you can see either Ashland Airport or going into Medford.
All right. Yeah.
So those are things up there. All right, CBN News. They're on the scene. We're going to go right into the CBN studio there in Jerusalem and get caught up what's going on over there.
Attacks against Israel continued Thursday as Hezbollah ramped up its missile and drone strikes. Iran also launched 5 missiles at Israel overnight, killing 1 person in the center of the country and hitting a Palestinian village near Hebron, killing at least 3 women in a beauty salon.
These cluster missiles are a war crime if this terrorist regime targets them at population centers.
Here we are in the bomb shelter again. This is an everyday reality for Israelis. In the northern part of the country last night, they had 6 alarms running to their shelters 6 times in the middle of the night. For the first time, Israel attacked Iran's natural gas infrastructure in the south. President Trump said the U.S. knew nothing about the attack on the South Pars gas field. Following the strike, Iran's president warned the situation could lead to consequences beyond control, the scope of which would engulf the entire world. Iran then attacked oil and natural gas facilities in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Qatar. The drone strike on Qatar's state-owned petroleum company causing extensive damage to the world's largest liquefied natural gas export facility. Qatar's foreign ministry posted that Iran's attacks are pushing the region toward the abyss and drawing in countries that are not parties to this crisis into the circle of the conflict. It also pledged to take whatever measures necessary to protect the nation and its people.
The Wall Street Journal reports the United Arab Emirates and other Gulf nations now view Iran as an existential threat, and they are calling on the U.S. to permanently disable the Iranian regime before finishing the war. Saudi Prince Faisal bin Farhan condemned Iranian attacks against the kingdom and neighboring states that are not directly involved in the current conflict with Iran.
The targeting of Riyadh while a number of diplomats are meeting, I cannot see as coincidental. And I think that's the clearest signal of how Iran feels about diplomacy. It tries to pressure its neighbors. The kingdom is not going to succumb to pressure. On the contrary, this pressure will backfire.
In Washington, the Pentagon is requesting another $200 billion for the war. In an intelligence briefing to the Senate, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard said the Iranian regime appears to be intact but largely degraded. She also addressed the issue of Iran's nuclear threat to the U.S.
Was it the assessment of the intelligence community that there was an imminent nuclear threat posed by the Iranian regime?
The intelligence community assessed that Iran maintained the intention to rebuild and to continue to grow their nuclear enrichment capability.
When pressed on whether Iran's nuclear program posed an imminent threat, Gabbard said those decisions are left to the president. President Trump traveled to Dover Air Force Base in Delaware on Wednesday for the transfer of the bodies of 6 U.S. servicemen killed in a plane crash while supporting U.S. troops in the war against Iran. Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem. As a reminder to our viewers, we will be praying at the end of the show, so please pray along with us and even post those prayers below so we can read them and pray them on future episodes. Please like and share this episode, subscribe on YouTube so that the minute we go live, you get notified. Now for the latest news, and coming to us from downtown Jerusalem, at the famous Montefiore Windmill, Middle East correspondent Paul Petit. Paul, what's with a windmill right downtown Jerusalem?
Pretty amazing. Yeah, this is an iconic site. Let me pan over here on my camera. I'll give you a little idea of what it looks like, at least from where I am standing. You know, as you said, yeah, the Montefiore Windmill was built by Sir Moses Montefiore. That was back in 1857, basically to allow residents of this neighborhood here, which was actually the first neighborhood built outside the old city walls, to mill their own flour. You know, it never functioned properly, though, because it was relatively too low on the landscape, but the windmill just became, as we say, one of Jerusalem's most familiar landmarks. If you've ever been here, then you've got to check it out right here, because then also, you know, over my shoulder right here, we're looking at David's tomb, Mount Zion. I mean, talk about iconic location. And they're pretty much all over here. And it's amazing just to be in the middle of this with everything going on right now. But I got to show you one other thing. I don't know if you can see, but this fellow's taken down this sign that says, "Marry me." Somebody just proposed over there just minutes ago, which
make sure
sort of
Chuck
a testimony
has the Zoom link, and he's ready.
That life goes on here, Josh, regardless of what happens. Life continues here in Jerusalem with bombs coming in and missiles going off. And there's a party going on right over my shoulder with a groom. Life goes on regardless of everything. Talk about resiliency. Now they're singing.
Only in Israel. Well, let's get to the latest news. Cluster bombs. They continue to be on everyone's mind for good reason. Why has Iran been using these munitions rather than ballistic missiles?
Yeah, great question. You know, they're designed to release dozens of small bomblets in midair, making them harder to intercept. That's the bottom line here, Josh. You know, these weapons can overwhelm Israel's war defense systems, and really they're designed to spread damage over a huge, wide area as opposed to just a ballistic missile, which is more concentrated, but of course, much more severe. Now, using cluster bombs increases basically the life of the risk to civilians, because they go all over with these pieces of shrapnel that tear into the body. Very indiscriminate, perfect for urban areas because there's a lot of people around and whatnot.
There we are. Wow, sorry about that. Well, I just, when I see reports like that, I can't imagine living in Jerusalem or anywhere in Israel where bombs are flying around.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and you live in and out of a bomb shelter, you know.
Yeah.
And getting your kids up in the middle of the night, waking them up and taking them to a bomb shelter.
And cluster bombs.
Cluster bombs, yeah.
Right.
So it's got more work to do over there. Okay, anyway, good morning to you. 1:15. Let's check out the weather with a guy that's, he's kind of interesting when he's awake.
A look at our Friday weather from Grange Co-op. In northern Oregon and southern Washington, cloudy with rain likely this afternoon and daytime highs in the low to mid-60s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville with lows tonight in the low 40s. Moving down the Willamette Valley with a chance of rain and daytime highs near 64 and lows in the low 40s for Salem, Albany, and Corvallis. Partly sunny and near 67 in Eugene with rain moving in tonight. A nice day across central Oregon with partly sunny skies around Prineville and a high near 79. Mostly sunny and low to mid-70s for Bend and Sun River. And mostly sunny in Boise, Idaho with a high in the low 80s. Along the coast, a chance of showers with highs in the low 60s for Coos Bay and Port Orford. Partly sunny with a slight chance of showers in low 60s in Brookings and patchy fog in Crescent City. Then partly sunny and near 60. A warm spring day in southern Oregon with partly to mostly sunny skies for the Rogue Valley and Klamath Basin. Highs in the mid-upper 70s for Grants Pass, Medford, and Ashland, and near 77 in Klamath Falls. Getting hot as we move into Northern California. In Wairika, mostly sunny and low 80s. Sunny in Redding with a high near 94. Through Chico and Sacramento with daytime highs in the low 90s and a calm wind. In the Bay Area, the heat continues inland with sunny skies and highs near 90 for Santa Rosa and Napa. Sunny in San Francisco with a high in the mid-80s and a light west wind. And in San Jose, sunny and near 93. It's a snapshot of your Friday weather from Grange Co-op.
All right, another beautiful shot looking west from Mount Ashland this morning. Still a little bit of snow here.
Where did they find that snow?
That was 2 weeks ago.
I put time-lapse photography on it now.
No, there is some stuff at the top.
All right.
You can see the bare ground around it, so not a whole lot going on there, but still a pretty picture.
Absolutely. Well, we know it as a global icon, but it got started on this day in 1930 as a roadside stop in North Corbin, Kentucky.
It all began with Colonel Harlan Sanders, who during the Great Depression started serving home-cooked meals out of a gas station along U.S. Route 25. But Sanders' story started long before that. Born in Indiana, he learned to cook as a child and dropped out of school as a 7th grader after his father passed away and he helped raise his siblings. Over the years, he worked a string of jobs from railroad worker to insurance salesman before finding his calling in the kitchen. By the late 1930s, his small cafe had grown into Sanders Court and Cafe, complete with a restaurant and motel. And in 1940, he perfected his famous blend of 11 herbs and spices, still one of the most closely guarded recipes in the world. By 1936, Sanders had been awarded the honorary title of Kentucky Colonel by Governor Ruby LaFoon, recognizing his culinary success. In 1950, he began dressing in his iconic white suit and black string tie, adopting the persona of Colonel Sanders, which became a key element of KFC's branding. From a roadside cafe to a worldwide brand, proof that it's never too late to find your recipe for success.
He wasn't a colonel? Honorary?
Honorary.
Okay.
So did they ever find out the 11
secret
spices?
ingredients?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. It's, again, a very closely guarded secret. Probably in a vault similar to what they keep the Coca-Cola recipe in.
Oh.
Yeah.
So crispy or original?
Yes. And yes. I like them both.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, there was rumors that some of these may be closing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because who they bought them out? A company bought them out that I think owns them and Pizza Hut and some other ones.
Well, they tried to kind of reorganize and clean up their image. You notice they took the words fried chicken out of their name. Remember, they used to be Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's not Kentucky Fried. It's KFC.
Oh, KFC.
We don't want to, frying isn't really good for you, right? When you fry food, yeah, because it's in oils and stuff, and it's not good for your heart.
French fries.
Well, that's not good for you either. You make my point. Thank you very much. Yeah. Golly. Yeah, that's brought to you by the cardiology
So you're going to get your KFC order through Amazon now?
You know what?
Overnight delivery.
Well, drone delivery?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
All right, good stuff all the way around. All right, Crossway, which is one of the great apologetic organizations out there, one of their professors shares the distinction about keeping, remembering, and meditating on God's Word.
Yeah, so keeping God's law, remembering God's law, meditating on God's law, they're all related, right? So when we think about keeping God's law, we're fundamentally talking about observing the law or sort of staying along the path that the law prescribes. When we talk about remembering God's law, it's not just sort of like, oh, I remember God's law. It's more of an active engagement. It's actively trying to call to mind the things that God has spoken to us. And when we talk about meditating, in Scripture, meditation is not just like Bible memory, because in fact, those back in Bible times, they didn't have like the Bible. Most people didn't have the Bible for themselves to read, and so if they're going to memorize Scripture, they're going to memorize it from hearing it. And so what meditation actually was any sort of form of practice that constantly puts God's Word at the forefront of our minds, right? And so it's typically things like chants and singing, and yes, it's going to be memorization, it's going to be reciting, but most of the time it's actually verbal practices. And so we're even meditating upon Scripture when we're sitting in our small groups and we're talking about the Scriptures. We're actually meditating on the Scriptures. And so meditation feeds remembering, remembering feeds keeping, and so they're all interrelated, but they're distinct, but all practices that are meant to sort of keep us closely tied and closely engaged with God's Word.
Yeah. Do you meditate on it? Mm-hmm. Do you try to memorize something?
I was much better at that when I was in Sunday school. Did you do memory work in Sunday school?
Well, a little bit.
Yeah, we did. We memorized verses, and we got all kinds of incentives to do so, and some of that really stuck. I was much better then than I am now. I don't know what it is. Well, maybe I do.
Who are you? We'll be right back.
Exactly.
The threat of wildfire poses a growing risk to Oregonians. You can prepare now by taking 3 important steps. Create a home inventory, make copies of important financial records, and contact your insurance company to make sure you have the right amounts and types of home insurance coverage. Be wildfire ready by being insurance ready. Visit dfr.oregon.gov/prepare now to learn how.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Burgers, salads, sandwiches, barbecue platters, sides, and more. Smoked, grilled, and served to perfection. Sweet Tea Express, breakfast, burgers, and barbecue.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
The Dove is shining with a brand new show, Season to Shine.
I'm Melinda Robertson, host of Season to Shine, a new heartfelt, inspiring program for women designed to bring encouragement, wisdom, and hope into your everyday life. We'll help you discover God's purpose in every season, empowering you to shine with confidence, faith, and joy. It's your season to shine. Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 4 p.m. on the Dove TV. More at thedove.us.
Thank you to our Dove partners for your faithful support. You make it possible for the gospel to be broadcast 24/7 on TV and radio, not only locally, but also around the world online at thedove.us. Thank you. Your faithful giving to the Dove is touching lives here and now, but more importantly, for eternity. Thank you for keeping the Dove encouraging and informative. We can't do it without you. More at thedove.us.
Okay, welcome back. One of the problems in the UK is they allowed coexistence of Sharia law with parliamentary law, and Senator Randy Fine from Florida is now talking about sponsoring a bill not to have that allowed in the United States. So here's a little bit of that conversation.
I think we have to address that we have a problem. Are all Muslims terrorists? No. But the problem is the left would have you believe that no Muslims are terrorists. And it's not just the fact that we've had 5 American Muslims launch 4 terrorist attacks in 4 different states using 3 guns, 2 bombs, and a truck, and they're all yelling the same prayer at the same time. It's interesting because Islamophobia means fear of Islam. And at this point, we have every reason to have that fear, and we need to not be afraid to say that. If you want to practice your religion in peace and privacy, you're welcome to do that in the United States of America. But if practicing your religion means others have to submit to you, that's not okay. So I'm Jewish. I don't eat pork, but I don't expect the grocery store to stop selling it. And a big part of what we're dealing with is mainstream Islam demanding that we change what it means to be in America to accommodate them. And that is not okay.
That is not okay.
Well, they better get this law in place like yesterday, because it's ruined the UK.
Yes, it has.
Almost could be to the point of no return. So he makes a good argument there, and I think it's worth, hopefully, hearings all the way through, both in the House and the Senate, and gets all the way to the president's desk. All right, take with you Psalm 55, verse 22. This is a great promise to you, but it's conditional. Here's the condition. Cast your burdens on the Lord, and if you do, he will sustain you, and he will never permit the righteous to be moved. So do your part, and he'll do his part. All right, stick around. We got some great guests coming up. Dr. John Mills is going to be with us, and our own Paulina Leiser is going to be with me for a special reason coming up a little bit later on this morning.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Burgers, salads, sandwiches, barbecue platters, sides, and more. Smoked, grilled, and served to perfection. Sweet Tea Express, breakfast, burgers, and barbecue.
You are invited to the 2026 Access Senior Fair, Tuesday, March 24th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Rogue X. Over 80 vendor booths offering helpful resources for seniors and their families. Try your luck at a round of bingo complete with prizes. All are welcome at the largest free and fun senior resource fair in Southern Oregon. We'll see you Tuesday, March 24th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Rogue X.
The Lennox iComfort S30 thermostat can sense changes in your environment. It even knows when you come and go. So now your home's most important system is also the smartest.
Metal Masters can give you the smartest home comfort system available. It knows when you're away and adjusts when allergens and humidity get uncomfortable. Trust Metal Masters to provide perfect air for your family.
Lennox, air is life. Make it perfect.
Welcome to Fish Lake Resort, where adventure is everywhere, and everyone is your friend. The fishing is great, and the food is tasty. The RV sites are full hookup, and the cabins are cozy. It's always a good time at Fish Lake Resort, and the best part is, you can come visit any day of the year because we are open all year, 7 days a week. Visit fishlakeresort.net today to learn more and plan your visit.
Have you seen Mornings on the Dove?
Good morning to you. A lot in the news.
Courage comes when you've been with Jesus.
A movie monster made his larger-than-life debut, introducing audiences to a giant ape brought to life through groundbreaking stop-motion animation.
In fact, I'm in the stage of life where I'm letting some things go.
Yes, thank you for saying that.
Yeah, well, I won't tell you what.
Add some fun to your mornings. Watch Mornings on the Dove weekdays. Once again, our very own Dove TV was recognized for excellence by the National Religious Broadcasters with the prestigious Station of the Year Award for 2026.
And this year's recipient of TV Station of the Year Award is Dove TV.
This makes 9 times the Dove has been honored by our peers with this celebrated national award. We're grateful, and another reason to stay encouraged and informed by watching and supporting the Dove TV. You're watching theDove TV, encouraging and informative for Reading and the North State. Seen on KRDT 23, KDRC 26, Channel 16, Channel 29, and these Dove TV affiliates.
Well, welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson. A term that you've heard a lot is called woke or wokeism. I think all of us have been impacted about it. What is it, and what is it really? Well, I am really honored to have with us today Dr. John Mills. He's a Canadian philosopher, psychoanalysis, and a retired clinical psychologist. He's the author of Woke, A Critique of Social Justice Ideology. He's an internationally recognized scholar and cultural critic. He is the honorary professor of the University of Essex and teaches a postgraduate psychoanalysis program both in the United States and abroad. And Dr. Mills also has written or edited more than 35 books in philosophy and psychology and cultural studies, and his work focuses on the intersection of mental health, culture, and contemporary ideology. He has a website. Let's see if I can get all this in here. philosophyandpsychoanalysis.com. There we go. That's a lot. And there's his webpage. Dr. Mills, good to see you, friend. How are you today?
Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
Good. Are you in Canada? Is that where we're talking to you from?
Yes, I'm in Nova Scotia.
Okay. Well, thanks for your time today. We honor it greatly. Wokeism. This is a biggie. It looks like you dig much deeper than the average person is. How would you describe wokeism?
Well, what used to be, a feeling of social awakening for certain types of injustices has now become very corrupted by the progressive liberal left. And so the term has really taken on a whole new meaning. So in a nutshell, basically wokeism is anything that is anti-Western, anti-white or European, and basically it's a philosophy of negation of otherness.
Wow. So it's more of an ideology than just run amok social ideas?
Well, very much so, at least in my opinion, because it's based on certain premises that just aren't, defendable. So one of the premises here is that there are two groups of people, and one is an oppressor and one is the oppressed. I mean, a very simple binary. Of course, if you happen to be white, if you happen to come from a European heritage, or anything that is deemed English or American, then you are by a de facto a racist, a white supremacist, and you want to subjugate and dominate all other minoritized groups. And this has become some kind of mantra that's become uncritically accepted, particularly in academia, but it's also infiltrated popular culture, professional bodies like licensing bodies, medicine, science, and even governmental industries.
Okay, there's a lot here. How did we buy this? What attracted us to this?
Well, that's a good question. I would imagine that it, on one level, has been brewing for a couple decades in universities, and particularly by the cultural left, that typically dominates a lot of the faculty, particularly in the United States, but is also infiltrated the public sector, and particularly since the pandemic. And I think the highlight was the death of George Floyd. So this really unleashed a lot of pent-up, frustration, aggressions, particularly around racial injustices. And then it took on a life of its own when everything became centered around diversity, equity, inclusion, and it spawned a whole, new fields of anti-racism pedagogy, and that means that you just can't simply be against racism like most decent people would, but now you have to be actively anti-racist or you are yourself a racist. And so then that led to people having to demonstrate their social virtues to the world at every turn. And it also stimulated people coming out of the woodwork because they now have a bullhorn to spate their own grievances. And so this is kind of, in a nutshell, I think where we're at today.
How did, how and why did academia allow themselves to get polluted with this?
That's a good question. Why? One would be, of course, you have a great deal of progressive faculty, administration, and staff that run colleges and universities, particularly in the social sciences and the humanities. It's much less dominated by conservative viewpoints, in particular parts of North America. So, the more vocal they are about their political views and this notion of what is right and wrong, and focusing on social justice activism, it naturally then developed a life of its own that basically wanted to alter, change, decenter, deconstruct, and destabilize more civil kinds of discourses that we were accustomed to in the academy, particularly around free speech and being able to debate ideas and have differences of opinion and have what now is termed viewpoint diversity, not a standpoint epistemology where someone says this is how things are, this is reality, and you have to accept it. Well, it almost seems like this has vanished because people are worried that they're not going to be on the right side of the moral teeter-totter. So they are co-opted and corrupted to either self-censor, say nothing, because if they speak out, they will be punished in some capacity. They could get canceled. They could have their job terminated. They could be severely punished in their own profession. They can have their publications suppressed. They can be deplatformed. They can be disinvited to events, and it could ruin someone's career. So they decide to go along with the game.
Absolutely amazing. I guess, well, as a psychoanalysis, how have you observed any changes on how people or therapists would treat people who are kind of caught in the middle here or confused?
Well, that's a contentious issue today because there's been a movement called decolonial therapy or decolonial or liberation psychology that is taking these social justice propaganda and they're basically brainwashing the next generation of therapists. So this has happened in the American Psychological Association, which is the largest psychology body in the English-speaking world. It's also taken place in American and Canadian social worker organizations. So they have mandates, changes in the curriculum, changes in the codes of ethics, as well as having to demonstrate this type of woke ideology to even get their license to practice. So it's affected the accreditation boards.
Wow.
It's also affected whether or not the program itself is generally accredited. If you can't demonstrate this type of anti-racist pedagogy, anti-oppression, skill set, then you won't get your license to practice. What this also means is that people just coming in off the street, wanting help, is going to be subjected to this kind of nonsense, where it's just inevitable. I mean, what's going to happen is there's going to be a whole slew of complaints to accrediting bodies that, patients will start suing people because they have emotionally harmed them.
Oh.
Not to mention the fact that it's completely incompetent. You should never foist your own political ideas onto a patient. They're there to get help, not to be lectured down to about their social mores and how they should act in their private life.
How? Just kind of curious, Dr. Mills. Forgive me if I ask this question wrong, but how did you wake up to this? How did you rescue yourself from this?
Well, I'm pretty much a vocal critic about certain things, and this is part of my background as a philosopher. I'm trained to think critically and to argue logically, through reason, through logos, through science, through evidence. And when this started to affect my discipline, where people are becoming blatantly anti-Semitic, anti-white racism is just proliferating in the field and being adopted by professionals who, are highly trained people. I felt the need to speak out about it.
Where does natural law come into this? I mean, is this a movement to completely erase natural law? Is it considered, or is it just gone?
Well, that's a good point. What is natural? I mean, for some people, this seems to certainly violate, a sense of innateness. But for other people, they feel that our natural dispositions are flawed, and they see this as a revolutionary opportunity to want to socially re-engineer and provide us with moral, re-education around what should be socially the ideal. However, it completely violates human nature. I mean, people, by definition, are complicated, and we're conflicted in many ways. We have competing ideas and competing needs and counter needs. So when someone wants to persuade us to think that there should only be one way of living and thinking and being, then we're going to have a problem. It's naive. It's illusionary, and it's a utopian fantasy.
Absolutely fascinating. All right, let me take a quick break. Let me show our viewers and listeners check out Dr. Mills' website, which is philosophypsychoanalysis.com. There's a picture of the landing page. Check out the book. I think you'll find it to be pretty forceful. There it is, called Woke, a critique of social justice ideology. You got a lot of redacting going on there. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Buying or selling a home can be stressful. It's one of the biggest decisions you'll make in your lifetime. That's why it's important to work with someone you trust, someone who has the right experience and knowledge of the market.
Hi, we're Patrick and Paulina Leiser with Leiser Real Estate Group.
And whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, our mission is to take the stress out of the transaction and make it as seamless and rewarding as possible.
Contact us today. We look forward to working with you.
If you don't drive it, donate it. By supporting us, you'll get even more mileage out of it.
Thank you from the Dove TV.
At Max Mobile Storage, the commitment is simple: to offer unmatched convenience and reliability in storage. Max Mobile Storage delivers containers right to your doorstep, making storage easy and hassle-free. Founded in 2012 in Medford, Oregon, we sell, rent, and fabricate top-quality shipping containers for homes and businesses. Locally owned and operated, we're proud to serve our community with friendly, reliable service you can trust. More information at maxmobilestorage.com. maxmobilestorage.com.
Welcome back. An honor to have with us today Dr. John Mills. He's a Canadian philosopher, psychoanalyst, and retired clinical psychologist. He is the author of a book of a really great interest called Woke, a critique of social justice ideology. There's a picture of the cover of the book on the screen there, available, I'm sure, online, wherever books are sold. He does have a website, philosophyspsychoanalysis.com. That's a lot there, but there it is. And there's a picture of his landing page. Dr. Mills, a couple things here. I'm just trying to, it's so much, so much. You deal with social justice and ideological issues. Where does social justice and promoting ideological issues cross?
Well, I mean, what used to be social justice concerns were very humanistic, egalitarian values that most reasonable people have. You know, treating people with dignity, respect, fairness, and just being a human being. But now there seems to be quite a drift that society itself is flawed, and it's based on power imbalances. It's based upon, white heterosexual men who are running the world, and it's based upon runaway capitalism, and that this, serves many functions to keep people oppressed. Or subjugated or disadvantaged, and so this is the slant these days. It's not about universal principles, but it's about finger pointing and blaming certain dominant groups, and anyone who falls into a minoritized status is deemed to be a victim.
Is there an awakening to wokeism?
An awakening to wokeism? Well, I think, the more we talk about this, particularly in a serious fashion and not just using it as a slur or using it for, weaponization of political views,
right.
But to clearly critique these ideas, to take them seriously for what they are, then we're going to have much more open and honest dialogue and debate about whether or not these principles and values are sustainable. And people have to also take, risks. They have to develop some sense of courage let's be honest and open and talk about things objectively, rather than self-censor, rather than remain silent, rather than to remain complicit in these types of corrupt ideas.
It seems that all of this has created another level of anxiety in our culture. People are confronted with it. It seems to be in complete contrast to their beliefs or just the way they were brought up. I don't know. And out of that has come this thing called mental health, which has been around, but now it's really been highlighted. From your perspective, psychoanalysis, what has all of this done to mental health?
Well, it's an interesting phenomenon to observe because I'm aware of a number of people who, who are clinicians in the field that are being affected by their regulatory bodies, by the classes they have taken, the course content, and the supervision they get in the training. And it's really led to a lot of anxiety within the field. It's also led to anxiety where clients seeking out help are very concerned that they're going to have somebody who's politically biased and reproach them in the consulting room. So they are more concerned about making sure they find someone who is more neutral and not taking particular political stances in the field.
We all have a tendency to maybe push back something we don't understand. We could even get angry over it. I guess one of my concerns is the level of anger, no matter where you are with this argument, it's produced a high level of anger. And we can't seem to communicate. We can't seem to get past this anger stage. Or am I misreading something?
No, you're very much attuned to what's happening. Is that anytime you have a simple binary argument that one group has caused harm to another group, and they're lumping you into some basket category. Let's say, you're white. Like, first of all, that's just a made-up term. There's no such thing as whiteness, in the genome. So, however, people are categorized in certain ways, just like another absolutely astonishingly simplistic term is called BIPOC, and this stands for Black, Indigenous, People of Color. So they're all lumped into a group, as if they're all homogenous. The minute you start classifying people, based upon skin color or other demographics or other identity markers, you've already reduced their personhood. You've already stripped away their sense of self, their dignity, their unique subjectivity and individuality. And so I think there's a danger in talking in these groupings about people. And it naturally is going to create defensive reactions when one group is being blamed for the collective suffering of a minoritized group. And so people are going to get their back up, they're going to feel offended, and they're deeply offended. You would think I'm a white supremacist just because I have a skin color that's this way. And then that generates mutual aggressions because the other party does not feel validated. But because they demand a certain recognition and it takes a central focus for them, it produces a negative feedback loop.
Yeah.
So you can't really sit down and have a real productive dialogue based in mutual understanding.
All this is fascinating. I want to see if I can squeeze one more question in here. I'll have to get you back because this is fascinating. Let me say to our viewers and listeners, check out Dr. Mills' book called Woke, A Critique of Social Justice Ideology. There's a picture of the cover of the book on the screen there. Dr. Mills, education, I'll just kind of zero in, higher education, can it be rescued from this? As you know earlier, federal funding was in many cases withdrawn to higher education because of DEI. I don't know if that's going to last. If there's an administration change, all that could come back. But just looking back on your career, can higher ed be rescued from this nonsense?
Well, yes. It's interesting to see how the Canadian public academic institution is reacting versus the American side. For the most part in Canada, all universities and colleges are subsidized by the government. And there's really been major changes that would not have occurred in the States, I don't believe, such as grant money is based upon affirmative action in hiring people based upon their their background, their skin color, their race, their ethnicity, their sexual orientation, things that you just wouldn't see in the States. So whether or not the change happens up here probably is going to be a lot slower than what we're seeing in the United States. The thing about the DEI is that, unfortunately, what was once based on wanting to help people who have disadvantages have equal opportunities to get educated have now been changed to privilege certain people over others, and it would naturally lead to the governmental administration wanting to tailor that back. I think there's always a danger when you want to force a certain equal outcome for people,
right.
And there's going to always be a backlash against that. So I think that at some point we'll probably see a shift of the pendulum that would at least go back to the center, where we can have spirited debate about this. We can find ways of helping disadvantaged without having to make everything about identity politics.
Wow. Out of time, but let me say to our viewers and listeners, check out Dr. John Mills' book, Woke, A Critique of Social Justice Ideology. They can get this online? Dr. Mills? Oop.
Yeah, you can get that online.
Okay. And his website is philosophypsychoanalysis.com. There's a picture of that landing page as well. Thank you, Dr. Mills. You're fascinating. We'll talk to you soon.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
At Sweet Tea Express, we've got you covered. Order at the counter and our friendly service staff will do the rest. Burgers, salads, sandwiches, barbecue platters, sides, and more. Smoked, grilled, and served to perfection. Sweet Tea Express. Breakfast, burgers, and barbecue.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm Guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary, sunlit interiors meet old-world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site, in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare, where your loved one can spend the day with us and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living. Your home.
Combining your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? When you want surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life, call State Farm agent Rory Wold in Medford today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Okay, welcome back. And of course, we're all concerned about high prices these days. Maybe the supply chain being interrupted with oil not flowing through the Straits of Hormuz. Well, I'm delighted to have with us today Bruce De Torres. He is the Director of Communication for the American Small Business League. He is also an entrepreneur, podcast host, and former marketing director. You may want to check out his website, ASBL, which is the American Small Business League, ASBL.com. And there's a picture of that landing page, ASBL.com. Bruce, good to see you. How are you today?
I'm very well, Perry. How are you?
Fine. Good to see you. Are we going to see a global interruption in the supply chain for what's going on?
The smart money would probably say yes, Perry.
Okay. How bad?
Painful at best and really bad at worst. That's our evaluation because, and that said, maybe in a week or two there'll be some resolution. Maybe there are talks behind the scenes we don't see, but our impression of the daily events for the last 3 weeks with this war and the building up of actions and forces daily over there raises the great chance that this could be something enormous on the size of the disruptions of COVID-19, even World War II, and even, God forbid, the use of nuclear weapons. And if they start flying and start landing, it's hard to imagine where they stop.
Is this primary concern at the moment energy?
Yes, because of the bottleneck at the Strait and the disruptions at the liquefied natural gas processing facilities over there, the high percentage of the world's volume of that go through the Strait. And yet, I got a feed this morning, I think, for the New York Times. Oil prices are down today. So this kind of prediction is not for the faint at heart. And we'll pivot as things rise or fall, going forward. But if ever there was a time for all Americans to pay attention and make your concerns known to your representatives, your senators in the White House, it would be now.
It appears that the main focus of what's going on now, there's two focuses. One is de-nuke Iran, but the other one is getting the oil flowing through the Strait again. Apparently, they're willing to escort militarily these ships, but ships don't want to move. This could be a Lloyd's of London thing. So the thing remains stuck. Do you think a coalition of countries working together would help, or is this thing just really stuck until it's swept clean of any kind of military interference?
Well, I want to answer in two ways. First, on behalf of the American Small Business League, which is concerned about how everything affects our small businesses. And I feel like saying your guess is as good as mine. Personally, as a man who studied history my whole life, I don't take at face value any announcement by our government, by any government, by any official oversight body, Perry, just because these type of things in the past have been the result of machinations behind the scenes that usually take years or decades to come out. Point being, this war could easily have been launched at the behest of the money powers that are above Israel and the United States in support of long-term horrible global agendas, meaning the disruption to the economies that this could easily cause, including huge slaughter, including huge fighting, and even the use of nuclear weapons, could all be coming in order to wipe out traditional currencies and tell us we need not only martial law and all the control and surveillance that entails, but a new digital programmable currency. And I steer people to the work of Catherine Austin Fitts at Solari.com, SOLARI.com, to appreciate the enormity of that threat. And this is consistent with the tech oligarch billionaires surrounding President Trump, meaning this whole war could be intentionally inflicted like a false flag in order for that outcome, which could unfortunately include starvation and famine for much of the world.
That said, why hasn't Bitcoin been more stable?
Not being an expert on Bitcoin, my impression of it is it's a tool over the last many years for wealth accumulation now, and also the investment in that kind of technology that serves that billionaire, oligarchical, technocratic class. That's as far out as an opinion on Bitcoin that I care to share.
Are we going to experience high inflation again, from your perspective?
I would bet yes. The trend of the last couple of years, job growth is really flat in America, and the cost of everything is a primary concern for the majority of Americans and small businesses, really caused by the tariff everything approach the Trump administration has imposed in the last 13, 14 months. Yeah.
Sticking with small business, if I could for a moment just set the war aside, what is the biggest threat to small business?
Ignorance, complacency. It's also the greatest hope, which is just reality, which most people don't have top of mind, Perry, which is the fact that we are up and down, beginning to end, left and right, through and through, nothing but a small business nation. Our 36 million small businesses comprise 99.9% of all businesses in America, with up to 500 employees. That's the government's general definition, and that's too big and it's misleading, because 98% of all of our businesses have less than 100 employees. That's how truly we are a small business nation. And we are woefully neglected by the federal government. And the opportunity and the power that the federal government has to help small businesses is waiting for enough Americans to know, hey, federal government, you do next to nothing for us. You're supposed to steer 23% of all federal contract dollars to legitimate small businesses. Every year you say you do and that you surpass it. But our analysis, our experience, decades, also congressional investigations, Inspector General reports from the SBA itself have shown every year, Perry, billions of dollars in federal contracts go to big businesses. They are reported as small business contract awards. And in Washington and the SBA pretends everything's fine. And those big businesses don't create one new job to do that work. They're already big. Whereas, final point, when legitimate small businesses get those contracts and those contract dollars, Perry, they will create a couple of million extra new jobs on top of the jobs that small businesses typically create every year. And small businesses basically create most, if not all, for all intents and purposes, of any new jobs that get created in the United States of America.
Another point, Bruce, that seems to be popping back up is the merger of big companies. Some are for it, some are against it. Given AI now very much on the scene, these mergers could be extremely threatening. The other thing is, can the monopoly laws be applied to these mergers?
I'm sure they could be much more than they are. And the consolidation of power into these giant corporations, which really was unleashed in the 90s under the Clinton administration, is yet another horrible pressure on small businesses, but also on Americans who want to save up some money in order to start a new business. It is very much part of the American dream. It's very much part of the ideal of self-government, self-sufficiency that we must aspire and nurture and encourage as individuals for it to reach policy, and then to have policy that supports and protects us. So to the extent that owners of companies are entitled to freedom to collaborate and acquire each other and come together, it needs to always be scrutinized through the lens and the analysis of monopoly, trust, and abuse. Trusts, and cabals and conglomerations that squeeze out competition. And a major industry to look at are the private equity firms that are buying up chains and franchises and making you think that in your town you've got a variety of different HVAC companies to choose from, but they're owned by the same private equity firm, so they impose the same pricing. And who gets squeezed? We do. Whose wealth gets extracted? We, the people.
Fascinating. All right, let me say to our viewers and listeners, check out Bruce's website. It's ASBL, I'll get that straight. It stands for American Small Business League, ASBL.com. There's a picture of the landing page. I think you'll find it very resourceful if you're a small business owner. American Small Business League. Thank you, Bruce. Good to see you again. Talk to you soon.
Likewise, thank you.
You feel most alive where you feel most at home. And this is living. Bobcat, the company that changed the way the world works, is coming home with a quality compact tractor built to match your quality of life. This isn't work you have to do. It's work you get to do. So get it done in a tractor that's all you. See your dealer or visit bobcat.com.
Finding that next great series to binge watch is fun, but your neck, shoulders, and body don't count that as me time. Hi, I'm Tamara Miller, owner of Organic Element Spa, and I invite you to put down the remote, get off the couch, and schedule yourself some real me or we time with your favorite service, like one of our many massages, couples massages, or facials. Your health, safety, and comfort are always top priority with us at Organic Element Spa. We can't wait to see you. Book your appointment today.
Have you seen Mornings on the Dove?
That they found out that the Ayatollah and all of his leaders were in one building.
This is not a single overnight operation.
The president has the authority to wage war.
We see Iranian women in the street celebrating, and we see liberal women in the United States protesting. It's interesting. What a dichotomy.
Wake up to information. Mornings on the Dove, weekdays.
Welcome back, and delighted to have with me my executive producer of Focus Today, Paulina Leiser, with us today. But we have switched the background to something that we're excited to talk about, and she's producing another show called The Ancient Church, and we're here to talk to her about that. It debuts this weekend.
Yes, on Sunday at 6 p.m.
at 6 p.m. on Sunday. All right, this is a new program that we're producing here at the Dove. And I know you've been wanting to do this for 922 years?
23, I would say. No, pretty much. Since I got into television and studied television 20 years ago, met Father Seraphim Cardoza, who's now has passed. It's been a dream to do something about Orthodoxy, because when I came to the United States 26 years ago and would meet wonderful people, everyone would raise eyebrows. You're Orthodox? What is that? And Father Seraphim used to say that's America's best kept secret. We have so many churches in Alaska, but the rest of the country didn't know much about it.
Right.
And so he and I would always talk about how one day we'll have an Orthodox show.
Yeah.
Well, that never happened as a show. He's been on your program many times. I think he was one of the Orthodox pioneers of the YouTube space, because he really was out there making videos, and they were very popular.
Well, I remember when he was on the program, and I miss him dearly. He was a character. His background was a character, and what led him into Orthodoxy, but moreover, was the response that we got, literally from all over the world. I mean, thousands of people would watch that interview with him. At one time, I think we had one that was 15,000 hits, and you kind of go, whoa.
Yeah.
You know?
And they're still being searched for, and people are sharing them, and they're spiritually nurturing to a lot of people, like you said, around the world. So the hunger is out there for content like this.
Okay, so people need to understand, you mentioned it, if you take a cruise, say, to Alaska, wherever you get off, you're going to see an Orthodox church. If you've ever been to Europe, you have all the varieties of Orthodoxy. You have Russian, you have Romanian, you've got, you know...
Serbian. I mean, every country can have their own,
and you're from Russia, so you're Russian, and so it's been around a long, long time. What do you want people to know about Orthodoxy?
Well, like you mentioned, it's been around a long time, 2,000 years. It has such a rich, beautiful, deep history and tradition that I genuinely want to share with people. Not only can those who are seeking something, and we've seen the studies, we've seen the surveys, people are looking for something deep. They want a tradition or faith that is rooted in something that has stood the test of time. And so I want to share that, because Orthodoxy has so much to offer. I'm not expecting people to go and convert.
Yeah.
And Father Seraphim used to say, we're not all going to become Orthodox, but there has to be some Orthodoxy in every denomination. And you and I have talked about how so many non-denominational evangelical churches are now going back to some of those traditions and implementing Great Lent or candlelight services, things like that. It's been existing in Orthodoxy for all this time, so why not learn about it? And another thing I want to achieve is to help people understand it a little better. Andy Stanley, I believe, said that, probably not only him, but many others, when you don't understand something, you reject it. And I want people to understand that this is not something to reject. This is something to maybe embrace or to understand, to explore. But it's a beautiful tradition that has a reason for everything we do. And I have a feeling that most people in our audience know an Orthodox person in their life, who maybe, or maybe someone who's inquiring. I mean, gosh, they know me. I'm Orthodox. Am I weird? Maybe. But there's a reason for all of the things I do and believe. And so I want them to understand, so maybe they can have a better understanding for those around them in their life.
So how have you put this together? I've watched you record quite a few, so they're going to start airing Sunday evening at 6 o'clock here on the Dove. I've watched your guests, and you seem to be taking on some of the very basic topics of Christianity, you know, salvation, things like that. What do you want the walkaway to be, the takeaway to be?
I do want to find topics that are common among all, and even non-Christians. The first topic that we're going to be discussing this Sunday is prayer. Everybody prays, or at least knows what it is, even if you're not a Christian person. So I want to not necessarily find a common ground, but I want people to see and to experience what the Orthodox Church think or believes, or what its views are on some of the things that we all deal with in our life, because it does have a lot to offer to the modern world and to the issues we deal with. I'm sure I'll do a program on anxiety. I mean, wouldn't it be interesting to talk to an Orthodox priest on how they deal with? Yesterday I recorded a difficult show on temptations and some of the ones that we're dealing with today. Everybody, not just Orthodox. And so I think that would be I hope it's going to be interesting.
Recent survey shows the young men, more than young women, but young men are really drawn to very structured churches. Orthodoxy is growing all over the place. If I remember Father Seraphim saying, nothing new, nothing novel. In other words, what you're doing in your church today has been done for thousands of years.
Yes.
Or is that overstatement?
No, it's not. There's a joke. I'm not good at telling jokes, but how many bishops does it take to change a light bulb? The answer is change.
Okay. Yeah.
We just don't.
Yeah.
Obviously, parishes make different adjustments, and if there's a change, it has to be universal, the councils and all that. So it has been there for a long time, and that's why when you go to a Greek church or a Russian church or a Serbian church, those that are in communion with each other, you feel at home. The language may be different, the music may be different, but the theology, the beliefs, the way we worship, it's the same.
Okay, I was going to ask you that question because if you go to Europe, almost every country has its form, if I can say that, or its Orthodox church. Russian, Serbia, Romania. Is there a difference other than the country?
I mean, there are some churches that would call themselves Orthodox that I would not, they're not part of the Eastern Orthodox Church.
Eastern,
like the Coptics or some other ones.
Okay.
But the Eastern Orthodox Church, like you mentioned, Greeks, Romanians, Serbians, Russian, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
These are just geographical titles that show where this church either originated or where the jurisdiction is.
Okay.
So here in America, we have all the ones you mentioned. There's also an Orthodox Church of America. It came from the Russians, but they have their own jurisdiction. And many of them have services together. We work, I mean, the priests I'm interviewing, they're from all over the place.
So, I'm trying to figure out how to ask this question.
Oh, ask.
Okay, I'll ask it. I'm trying to think. Christ is obviously the center of the church. How is that recognized maybe differently from other churches?
I would need to know what other churches are saying.
Well, that's good. Okay. I think
he is the center.
You and I have discussed this a lot, but the point being is, it appears to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, you've kept him in a very holy position, a very reverent position. In America, we have, and not all, but we have made Jesus more of a dude. And I say that with a broken heart. He's become a friend, but very casual. We've lost the sense of respect and holiness and righteousness to a certain degree. So, does that make sense?
It does. And I think when you come to an Orthodox worship service, you experience that holiness and reverence, the Almighty God, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. We believe it, we worship it, we try to live it. When you come to a liturgy, it is so beautiful, and I really hope that my program that's just scratching the surface will encourage people to attend one at some point in their life. It really is heaven on earth, and you enter the church, and the whole service is that the gradual ascent into heaven that culminates in Eucharist, which is the holiest of holies. And people receive it with reverence because it is Christ himself. And then we go home and we try to carry it with us till next time we come to church. But yes, the reverence is there, and It's, I don't know, it's just so beautiful.
You're on the Eastern calendar.
Yeah.
Okay. There are times that they're pretty close, the Eastern and the Western calendar. What are we, a week apart this year?
Well, the Gregorian and the Julian calendar, they're always 2 weeks apart. But when it comes to Easter, it fluctuates. This year, it's a week apart. So you guys have it on April 5th, ours on April 12th.
Okay. The hierarchy of the church, if I can put it that way, you don't have a pope, you have patriarchs.
Yes, there are patriarchs, there are metropolitans, there are council, and they come together in the councils. By the way, this first, if you want to know the answer to that, I actually did ask my first guest, and this will be this Sunday. I did ask him, what is the structure of the church? Because it is a wonderful, it amazes me how the church has been able to preserve what it has been able to preserve for 2,000 years without that one head, like one pope overseeing it. So how has it happened? And who is in charge? Who is making all these decisions? So my first guest on Sunday will explain that. So.
Okay, because I was kind of going to go there. I got a couple seconds here, but isn't that in itself an amazing testimony that you don't seem to have the fallouts at that level that other churches and denominations have, if I can put it that way.
Well, and also remember the apostolic succession. That is such an important part of the church. It's not just a claim we make, but the church that I go to, my priest was ordained by another bishop, by a bishop. That bishop was ordained, and you go one by one by one by one. No one just woke up one day or went to a seminary and decided to become a priest. That decision was made, but there was an ordination, and it was done by someone who was ordained previously. And that apostolic succession is a wonderful part of the church that has helped keep it the way it is, but also the way it's structured with patriarchs, and they're what's the word? They're equals.
Well, let me say to our viewers and listeners, I'm out of time, but let me say this will debut on the Dove Television Network starting Sunday at 6. Paulina's the host. She's certainly no stranger to our audience here. And this has been a long dream of yours. I've seen your recordings, and I'm fascinated. You're bringing in people literally from all over the country, perhaps maybe even around the world in the future, and you'll take it on. So congratulations. Dream come true. Timing's everything, isn't it?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was a perfect timing, I believe. Thank you for taking this on. And I want to thank everyone who's going to join. And I really, really hope, my main desire and dream, that people will walk away with a sense of awe for this beautiful ancient tradition and inquire more, hopefully.
She does have a website, ancientchurchshow.com. There's a picture of the landing page.
Since 1934, Grange Co-op has been more than just a store. We've been a cornerstone of our community, owned by people like you. We proudly offer top-quality farm and ranch supplies, including our own Rogue feed, as well as workwear, Western apparel, garden essentials, and pet care products. By signing up as a Grange Rewards customer, you not only enjoy exclusive benefits like special offers and 1% back on most purchases,